Okay, here's to fingers crossed it not being crazy robot voice.
Yeah, are we
Here we
robots?
go.
Are we robots?
Are we
Are we
robots?
We robots.
I mean, I'm dead inside, which is kind of the same.
It sounds good.
Thank
wanna be
goodness.
I don't hear any.
Thank
Yeah,
goodness.
I think we're
All right.
good.
You know, that's always fun. But this time it didn't take an hour and a half to fix, so yay. All right. So, hey, everyone. Thanks for joining us on whatever day this is. It's early in the week. It's Tuesday, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Cool.
Tuesday.
Thanks for joining us on a Tuesday evening, afternoon, morning, where depending upon where you are, for some fun one-shot action with the Jim Henson Labyrinth adventure game. I'll talk a little bit about what that means and what we're going to be doing in a second. But first, let's do the thing that we always do, which is in case it's your first time here or in case there's some unfamiliar faces, we're going to have ask folks to introduce themselves, say a little bit about themselves and the character that they are going to be playing tonight. Let's do Tough.
Hi, I'm 98 Tough Love. I'm a variety streamer on Twitch. I play lots of different games, and you can also find me on Twitter at 98 Tough Love, playing Cleo the Trash Witch. Go Moro.
I'm more wind in my sails. I play lots of, well, I guess Link to the Past, but I'm hoping to do some speed runs, and I'll be doing all kinds of fun variety stuff soon. So come check out my channel. Today I'm going to be playing Rudy Tooty, also known as just Rude. She's a little bookworm, trying to figure out where she left that bookmark.
Cool.
Grognard.
I'm going by Grognard. I don't do anything really online. I've been a tabletop gamer since about 1985. I'm going to be playing a dwarf today.
With a giant wrench.
With a big wrench. It's going to be very large. It's impressive. It's a good wrench.
And a sunny disposition, right?
Oh, of course. Always. Very helpful, very friendly, very outgoing, sort of an extroverted. No.
Yeah, I don't think so. Awesome. Yo, Hal.
Hi, I'm Hel, and I like to play really hard games on the internet. Right now I'm playing through Dark Souls 2 on my Twitch stream. And I also like to learn stuff. But today, what I'm going to be doing is playing, if you've seen the movie Labyrinth, I'm playing like the old man who gives bad advice. I think it's good advice, but it's exceptionally dubious. And maybe nobody should listen to me, but my goal in life is to give as many people advice as possible.
Yo, Mag.
Okay, I'm Megan ML, and I am a variety streamer on Twitch as well. You can find me at meganml.tv. I'm like really proud of that link. Okay, so anyway, then you can also watch me in this wonderful TTRPG that we're doing right now as a hat. I am Basil's hat, and I give way better advice. And my goal in life is to give all the people that Basil gives bad advice to some good advice. So I am a hat, and I'm Basil's hat. And that's my name, Basil's hat.
Yes. You probably have a real name, but it's probably just a bunch of squawks and stuff. Because you're a bird.
It's just Basil's hat.
Yes. Yes. Yeah, and I am Zero or Zero Daylight or Michael or DM or GM or Keeper or Narrator or whatever. I don't even remember what it's supposed to be in this. For this system, I'm the Goblin King. Yes. I
was really hoping you were going to cosplay, Michael. I'm not kidding.
I thought about it because I have a white wig, but it's not the right type. I would have had to have thought well in advance. And I didn't, so it's fine. We'll have to theater of the mind, all that nonsense. So tonight we are going to play a one shot of the of Jim Henson's Labyrinth adventure game. And now it's a role-playing game, but it's also an adventure game. It is really cool. It's a relatively small book. It comes with dice that are kind of in a little secret compartment in the book. It's not that expensive, and not only does it come with all the rules and things, but it comes with a fun mechanic for sort of generating somewhat random and ever-changing passageways or pathways through the labyrinth. So it can be run for You can run it for one session, you can run it for multiple sessions, you can come back and try it again. So I think it's a really well put together product that is very, very true to its inspiration material. We're going to do it a little bit simplified this time and be a little bit more freeform about what happens. But we picked this because it's a fun IP and also because the mechanics are crazy simple. So everyone should have 2d6s, a piece of paper, and a pencil for notes. And we do have a shared spreadsheet where we have the minimal information that's necessary to create a character. Basically, it's just, what are you? What do you want? What stuff you're good at? What's some stuff that maybe you're not so good at? Do you have any cool stuff that might be useful to you? And that's kind of it. It's just description and character traits and stuff like that. So it can be created on the fly very, very quickly. But folks have already done most of the work. So the core conceit of the game is that you are all denizens of the Labyrinth, over which the Goblin King rules. And the Goblin King is capricious and strange and not always very friendly, and often calls upon his subjects to do more or less shady stuff. And in this case, a few days ago, the Goblin King put forth a proclamation. He declared that tomorrow is his birthday. Now, everyone knows the Goblin King has lived forever or something, or if he dies, then the labyrinth goes away. I mean, no one is really entirely sure, but they're fairly certain that it's not his actual birthday. But he's decided for some reason that he wants to have a birthday celebration. And so he put the word out that people can come and bring him gifts. And the people with the gifts that he likes and appreciates will be rewarded. And the people who don't bring him gifts or bring him gifts that don't satisfy him will be punished forever.
In the Bog of Eternal Stench?
In the Bog of Eternal Stench, and Oubliette, and the hole with the hands or whatever that was, super creepy, probably not suitable for a very young audience. There's all kinds of horrors and terrors around every corner that he can use to torture you if your birthday gifts are not up to snuff. And the problem is there's no stores here. Everything kind of technically already belongs to the Goblin King. So coming up with gifts is a bit of a challenge. I would say individually, or you can tell me if any of you knew each other from before. But we bring the group together as you have decided to exit. Like you all had the bright idea that, well, everything in the labyrinth belongs to the Goblin King. So if I give him a present from within the labyrinth, it'll be something that he can claim that it was already his. That's a quick way to be hung upside down for 100 years. So maybe if we snuck out past the outer wall, maybe we could find something that would be novel enough to catch his eye. And so through whatever means that you have at your disposal, whether it be using your wrench to open up a grate or squeezing your tiny little worm body through a crack in an ivy-covered wall, or flapping your wings really, really, really hard and straining yourself to lift yourself and the man who wears you like a hat off the ground momentarily. Maybe trash witches just live outside. They have all kinds of secrets of their own. Maybe there are some portals in the endless junkyard where you live that allow you to travel to unknown places. But somehow you all find yourselves in a sort of dusty, rocky plain with some stunted trees, looking at this seemingly never-ending wall of the exterior of the labyrinth. And then layer upon layer of complexity gradually coming up into a mound with the King's castle in the center, obscured by a little bit of dust and mist in the air. What you see in front of you are walls with carvings and graffiti, 2 doors, and a pool. Pool of water. A little bit grungy, a little bit maybe oily. You can't quite see into it.
Somebody's not doing their job.
So what do we see? We, the audience, what do we see as this group of individuals kind of slinks out of the shadows and looks at each other?
Well, I'm going to tell you one thing. Somebody has been doing their job. Look at this pool over here. There's a lot of inaudible. Kids these days.
Would you?
Drains. You know what gets in those drains?
Would you like to try to see if you can repair the pool or figure out something about it?
Yeah, well, because it needs to be done. So we need my wrench. Be like, here's a wrench. Go there. Twist the wrench.
I mean, you know things like this. I'm going to say that is decently difficult. So I think we should make that a 3.
All right, we're gonna roll.
But you have a wrench.
I do. Yeah, it's good wrench, big wrench, large wrench.
So that gives you advantage.
Nice wrench.
It's a nice wrench you got there.
Yeah, it's my day. It's my day. I got a 7 then to roll a 6. So I gotta fix this thing up. Fix this thing up.
Yes. Well, and if I'm not mistaken, it's advantage in the sense that you roll 2 die and you take the higher number. I don't think you add them.
Like D&D advantage.
I think that's right.
Ooh. I'm gonna go with the first one then, because another. Yeah, let's go with the first one.
Which was higher than 3?
It was 6, yeah.
Oh, 6, yes. Perfect. So, you don't really know much about it. I mean, it just kind of looks like a pond out here. It does have a nice kind of stone edging around it. And maybe it was nice at some point, but just sort of instinctively, you start banging around into it with your giant wrench, whose name is...
Philip?
Is that I thought your wrench had a name.
So did I.
I think it's a
Okay, people ask me. I'll remember all these things. I have to remember all these things all the time. People
Chester.
Always remember. Chester the wrench. Of course, it's Chester the wrench. It's Philip's middle name, right?
Who else would
Yes.
it
Yes.
Chester the wrench. Yeah.
Michael, you fixed it. Okay, never mind. All right.
Yeah. So, yes. So you just lay about splashing kind of dank smelling water all over everywhere with Chester trying to find something. And Chester does clink on to something
Well,
metallic.
it's not fairies, is it? Little fairies. I don't like those.
No, and the ones that live in water are pretty bad. They're the ones that suck you under the water and drown you and then eat you.
Figures.
But they're usually made of flesh and bone and hair, not metal. And there is, in fact, a valve. And you're able to kind of just like wrench it. And there's maybe you're doing a little bit of damage too, but it does create a bit of a burbling. Like maybe there's a source of fresher water. And as you watch that kind of oily slick starts to become less and the smell becomes a little bit less odious or
My
odorific,
breath
whatever.
is fixed.
Says
I was gonna use that for perfume.
as the others, I think, come close. So have any of you met each other before?
I know
I've
Basil.
Well, I'm
Yep.
obviously.
My hat.
I think I know Ulrich just by him tinkering with wall stuff. And I find myself on the walls a lot.
Yes, from being around.
Mm-hmm.
I think geographically it makes sense for Basil and Basil's hat to know Rude, just because of like the proximity of where they live in the labyrinth.
Okay.
And Cleo and Rude probably have like a book club that we go to together, where I'm always impressed with how many books she happens to have on her back at any
Yes.
given minute.
Then they all have pictures.
Yes, they're all
With
People
beautiful
magazines from the mid
pictures.
'80s that have fallen through some gap in space time
And,
into the fairy realm. Yes.
Little kid books. She has a lot of little kid books. So lots of cardboard.
Yes. Children's books. And you also like to tell people the story of Tom and Nicole, this mythical creature, Tom and Nicole, that appears to like fascinate everyone in the human realm.
Oh, Tom Nicole, I heard about that. Tall Tall.
Yeah, like a
Tall,
Like a
when
monocle.
you stack them on top of each other, they can be quite tall.
Never change.
Yes. So we'll say that, yeah, you maybe, whether you came here together as a group or not, you certainly don't have to introduce yourselves to each other, and you have a decent idea of who the others are and what they can accomplish. So you came out into the waste to find something. What do you do? You've now repaired this pool.
Well, I'm gonna stand back and be like, "That's nice work. That's really nice work." I see that's nice work over there, Basil. Awesome.
You ruined it. It was perfectly fine. And then you had to go and make it like that.
Basil had fallen asleep,
Always critically. Always not critical.
standing up.
Have no idea.
The hat.
This
the
guy doesn't know
hat.
what you're asking him.
it smelled like poop.
It's not
Well, yeah, it smelled like poop. Did you see that in there? It's all gloppy. And you see that thing floating in there? That's not apples.
That could have been a perfectly good treasure, and you just flushed it down the drain.
Oh, you
No.
stop your cogitating. My gosh, I give you a golden apple. You call it something else. I don't know.
Nope.
So what are we gonna get this? What are we gonna get? Oh, what's his name? Sick of dealing with him.
Listen, I don't know about you guys, but our movement, wherever we go, it should probably not be terribly far. Old Basil here's our legs, and we don't get anywhere very quickly. Just so you know.
Basil's fine. Stop criticizing Basil. What do you know all the way up there? The air is so thin. All right, so
You can peck him. You have a long flamingo neck. You can reach down and peck him in the head. Just to be clear.
I'll tell you what.
hats are supposed to be floppy. Heck at you.
I'll flop you.
So who is good at looking around, seeing what you
I'm pretty
see?
good at spotting stuff.
Yeah.
I have glasses.
Vantage point.
Is it shiny?
I think you are low to the ground and you have glasses. So I think Rude, in the midst of this slap fight going over here between Basil's hat, and Ulrich, I think Rude is probably just looking around, seeing what you can see. I think that is going to be a difficulty 2.
So is that 2d6 minus 2?
No, it is. You're looking to roll above, or the number
Oh, okay.
or above on one die, and if you have something that helps you with the task at hand, whether that be a skill or a feature, just kind of narratively, or an actual thing, then you can roll twice and take the higher.
Okay. That was a 3, which is above
You
the 2.
that's a success. Ones always fail. 6s, well, generally succeed because I'm not allowed to set a difficulty higher than 6. 6s, it's not fair in terms of the difficulty scale. Right.
Oh, God.
So, you're probably inching along the side of the pool, trying to avoid being stepped on by the situation that's happening over on this side.
Chaotic.
And because you're very close to the surface of the water and it's somewhat clear, you can see that there are a number of objects
Oh,
in the water.
oh, hey, Cleo.
What?
I got glittery
Is there shinies in there?
shinies. Yeah,
Oh, I like shinies.
I know. That's why I told you.
What's odd is it's not exactly clear what any of the objects are. It's like you can tell there's something under there, but as soon as you get start to form like, oh, that's what that is, the water will ripple a little bit and then it will sort of change. It's like, oh, is it an egg? Is it a key? And there's a number of them, in fact.
I love eggs. I love eggs. Oh, I'm not putting my hand in there. No, or I'm not putting my little tiny worm arm in there. I'm just going to keep looking at it.
Cleo, since you are now over and looking, and as Rude kind of inches along the edge, probably dragging a little bit of sludge with her, there is a label carved into the stone of the surround of this pool. It's a fishing well.
Oh. Hmm.
So
I
can we
don't have-
fish?
Does somebody
Don't
have
see
something
fish.
to hook
Anybody
line?
have a pole?
I've got a
Basil,
jump rope.
Whack it with a wrench.
That dog's not gonna help us, Basil. That dog got a pole.
But he's so cute.
Can he get fish?
Just fix stuff. We're gonna whack it with a wrench.
Mm. Can you fix water?
Can you fix water?
We just did.
Oh,
It's true.
You
Oh,
can
get
certainly.
the shinies out
you-
of the bottom of the pool.
You
I'm
can.
not going down there. It's above my head.
You can whack at whether and it looks like it's very shallow, but as you like maybe you try to reach in with Chester and try to pull one of these objects in, as soon as the water is disturbed, the images kind of shimmer and like there's nothing there. But then very rapidly, more rapidly than it should, it goes back to this mirror-like surface and you can see vaguely suggestive objects there resting very close to the surface.
Oh, okay. I
All
think
that is gold doesn't glitter.
But it's shiny.
All right, hold on a sec. Hold on
All
a sec.
that is gold does glitter. It's not all that glitters is not gold. Ah, Basil, you
Talking
messed it
about
up
over there?
again.
What do you?
Listen,
those are words. Those are words that she
glittering
said.
things are not all gold. That might be poop or something.
Oh, there was poop in
The
there.
higher up you go, the crazier you sound. Is that how it works? Is that how it works?
All right, down there.
Make me come up there.
So
All right. So what do you think? Try and drain the pool?
Yep.
You want to try and do that?
Yeah.
No.
I
You do it.
mean,
We're gonna need a lot of sponges.
how are
You
we
got
gonna
sponges?
He likes sponges.
How are we gonna drain it?
Cleo, you got sponges?
No. How would I have? Well, actually, hang on. I pull off like a super like moldy, gross one. Will this work?
Look at that. That's
It's still
not at
wet.
all what I-
Like squish it.
right.
What is that? That's not okay.
What do you mean? This is a priceless treasure.
It's her
found it.
emotional support
you
sponge.
use-
What are you talking about?
Yeah.
I get that, but I don't know what that smell is.
Oh yeah, true. If you
It's
use
delicious.
a wrench to go the one way to make the water do the one thing, do you think you could use the wrench to go the other way to make the water do a different thing?
Listen, you're just a hat. You don't know what you're talking about. So if I use the
Basil.
wrench to go one way,
Useful.
maybe I
Tell
should
them what
use
I'm
it the
talking
other way.
about.
Would you?
Yeah, that sounds
I
logical.
still think hats.
I don't think he can. I don't think that's how
Hats.
wrenches work, Hat.
Eh,
Everybody's a wrench expert.
Or maybe you'll bring back the good smelling water and I can get more perfume.
What? What are you even talking about? Okay, all right. Let's go. Let's go see if turning it the other direction does anything fun or interesting, because this looks like something that we need.
It's easy enough to put Chester in and clamp back down. It feels like you had opened up a valve and now you have closed it. But each in the few moments that you've been arguing, the pond has gotten clearer. But shutting it off doesn't immediately revert it to its kind of disgusting previous state. It probably got that way over a very long period of time.
All right.
And again, as soon as you pull Chester out, the surface of the water becomes smooth and glass-like again, and you can see a variety of intriguing objects. Just
All right, this
like
was one of those
just out of
things.
reach.
So things aren't always like they seem, right? So anybody got hat? You're supposed to be smart. You're way up high.
I am.
I'm the wise man.
I
Alright.
knew that. So anyway, hat.
Yes.
All right. So I got a thing that I need to get the thing with the stuff, but I can't get it. Right.
Okay.
Now, Cleo, you're the expert in stuff.
Yes,
You're like made of stuff.
I like stuff.
Yeah, stuff's good. So how do we get the stuff out of the other thing?
Well, normally I just grab it.
How
Did
do
it
you
work?
grab
Can
it?
like this. And I'll
No, don't put your hand
reach into the pool.
Oh no. Oh, that was a bad
You
idea.
do, and it's not. I mean, unfortunately, your hand comes out relatively clean.
Oh.
Sorry about that.
So
And there
Yeah.
probably is a
Water.
plume of just grit and awfulness that sluices off of Cleo's hand into the water.
That wasn't okay.
But beyond that,
No, it wasn't.
you can feel around, and there's nothing in there.
Oh no, wait, Cleo, do you have a mirror? Does anybody have a mirror? Rude, you got a mirror in there?
Ah, I have a mirror.
I don't have a mirror.
I reach into the donation box that everybody donates to when they come through the labyrinth, and I pull out a tiny, like 1950s compact mirror.
Mm.
Here.
All right. Now I don't know what to do with this, but I got an idea.
You look into it.
Rude. No. Yeah.
You look into it. Look
Yes,
into
but
the mirror.
no. Rude. Get
Yes.
this. Hold on. Get close. Come here.
Yeah.
So I think
Yeah.
I forgot what I was gonna say. All right. Anyway, you take it. Why don't we look at the stuff
Yeah.
in the mirror and see if we can send you through the mirror to go get it?
Can I go through mirrors?
I don't know.
Sometimes the way
Can you? You're a
forward
worm.
is
Do
the
I
way
look like
back.
a worm? I'm not a worm. You're the worm. Can you? That's the question.
I believe I can. I read it in a book once.
Did you really? I didn't know
I
you
don't
could
know.
read.
I'm a bookworm.
Oh, yeah, I knew that. All right. I'm going to hold the mirror. I'm going to hold the mirror so you can see the reflection of the stuff. I'm going to try and send the worm through the mirror. It's a long shot. It's a long shot. But all I got's a wrench otherwise.
I saw this in Star Trek.
Right.
What are you even talking about?
So Rude, with
Yes.
Ulrich angling this compact mirror, which if you can fit through, you're gonna have to squeeze. You check it out and you look, and you get up very, very close to the point where you can kind of see your little wormy face,
Oh, this might work.
and you think it's going to work because your reflection in the mirror swirls and moves of its own accord. It looks very, very magical until it resolves into the face of the Goblin King. Tick tock, tick tock. Birthday's tomorrow. Gotta bring the present. Stop wasting
Why do you look
time.
terrified?
I give him a little smooch.
He kind of goes,
Basil has fallen asleep and snores loudly in the background.
I'm just literally just sitting here like this. I'm wrapped with attention. I'm like, it's working.
and then Rude kisses it.
Wait, what is going on? Why you no,
We got a message from the boss.
that's not good.
No.
So
I think he means we
shinies.
should probably leave this pool alone and start looking for stuff.
I think we need to go find a present for the birthday tomorrow. Whose birthday?
That's what we were doing. That didn't work.
I got a question.
It didn't work.
Here's the question.
It's
This
close. It's
water
close.
is
It's close.
very nice, right? It's real nice.
Yeah,
It's
that's
a
nice.
matter of opinion.
Oh, fair. But you know how it looks real nice to people who are not Cleo.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
Yeah,
all
she's
right.
filthy.
what if we found some kind of a container to put this mirror glass water in to make a bauble
That's called a cup.
for him?
You're talking about tea.
This technology doesn't exist.
Wait, I might have a container.
It's literally just a
You
cup.
do. You
Fiddle
have
around
you
it.
have anything that you can reasonably use or create out of toys from a girl's room.
Yes.
Cleo, something in your adult mind keeps drawing your eyes back to the label on the well. Almost like it's a clue.
That can't
I
possibly be.
forgot. We can read things.
Oh,
Rude. Do you want to help me read this?
Yes.
I got distracted by shinies, as I'm
Yes.
prone to do.
And with that, Cleo will sweep off the dust and detritus that has grown up over the edge of this pond and reveal a lovely little, it's chiseled into a little stone plaque, and it says fishing well.
That's a fishing well. Yep. That's where you find Moby Dick.
There are no fish in it.
No,
There
there's
do
Moby Dick.
appear to be very interesting objects in it.
Those aren't fish.
I think
I have
we
an
need to
idea.
fish in it.
It's a misnomer.
Basil, what's your idea?
We clear out the donation box. It's on a long pole. We use it like a net. That's my idea.
To do what? What do you think you're
Get
going to do?
things with fish.
There's no fish in there.
But they're shinies, and we
It
can
says
fish
fishing.
out the
It
shinies.
says fishing well.
What if?
Mm-hmm.
Is there water in this fishing well?
Yes.
No.
Yes. It's right
Oh,
there.
there is.
Yeah, there's water in it.
Oh.
Yes. No.
I was going to offer to attach myself to a pole and be lowered down and put shinies into my hatlessness and then be pulled back up with the shinies in my hat body.
It's like they're connected or something.
Wait a second. Aren't you dry clean only?
Well, I didn't think there was water in there. Now that there's water in there, I don't
Yeah.
know.
There's
It's a
water.
pool.
I don't know. I'm just asking. I don't know.
I am dry clean only. It's true.
You have a net,
don't-
Cleo.
I don't have a net, but I have these holy sheets that have unicorns on them.
Holy
Would that
sheets.
work?
Maybe.
Holy sheet, I have sheets.
Are they blessed?
And we use the sheets to make a
Oh,
net.
Don't ask that question.
Yes. Thanks, Sin. Sin has redeemed a minor boon, which I think in this case is just going to be subtract 1 from your roll. Sorry, add 1 to your roll.
Yay.
/ reduce the
Aye.
difficulty. So we've got that down at least. So
Thanks, Sid.
Thank you, Sin.
Henson.
I think Basil is going to take the sheet and try valiantly to form it into the shape of a fishing net.
okay.
Basil's hat is going to comment on this throughout the process.
I think that's probably worth assisting. Basil, is there any particular skill or object that you have that would make this easier? Something about your character that would make you uniquely suited to turning a child's unicorn sheet into a fishing net.
Definitely not. Nope.
Nope. I was going to say, I don't think so.
Okay. So
Not a clue.
just roll a d6, but add 1 to that for your
a lot
hat's
of unhelpful
assistance.
commentary. A lot of unhelpful commentary.
Okay, so roll a d6, then add 1.
Then
That's
add
it.
1, and you're looking to get above just 2. I mean, it's not that complicated.
Okay. Well,
Well, no, it has to be 3. There has to be a chance that you'll fail. So we'll make it a 3.
that is a 6.
Well, the good news is that sheet was, like, maybe it was somehow preserved from being stuffed up in whatever bags and stuff Cleo has. But as soon as it got like contact with the air and whatever passes for a sun here, it rapidly began to degenerate. So as you're trying to form it into some sort of package, it kind of starts to fall apart and winds up being remarkably net-like. You think it's not going to be super duper useful in the long run, but you've done a pretty good job. So who would like to go fishing?
I don't fish. That sounds like worm work to me.
Nope. I have a strong aversion to fishing. My great uncle died fishing.
Also, I'm saying, sorry.
I mean, you're
No.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, it is worm work, but it's not.
Yeah, you come from a long line of bait, so
Just
Basil,
that-
what do you think? Can you do it? I'll
Wake
tell
up.
you how to move the rod.
Basil, wake up.
Fourth Earl of Marshmallow. I've never fished in my life.
Oh, you did a nice job with the net, and you've never done that before either.
Well, it was okay.
so
All right, so I go fishing.
Yes.
Gonna make a number of disapproving sounds, but not gonna actually help.
Of course not.
Right. I'm
Okay,
gonna try to help. Let's do this.
That'd be too
4.
easy.
That will be fine. It's only a 2. So it's possible to fail, but not very likely. You pull out. I'm going to leverage one of the many tables to tell you what you pull out. A trumpet.
A trumpet.
Yes, a very nice, shiny trumpet. It's toy-sized, but it is clearly made of some very shiny metal. And it's got the couple of valves seem to work perfectly. So maybe like a mini coronet. But it does seem remarkably, and the experience, like what happens is as you put the net in, all of the images of whatever objects just kind of shimmer and become amorphous. And it feels like you're sweeping through empty water, but then as you pull it out, there's a little bit of a tug. And some of those shimmers and fragments of suggestions of objects kind of coalesce right as this object is being lifted out of the water. So you now have a very fancy, potentially magical coronet. And you know the Goblin King loves his music.
I say, I know what this is, and I put it up to my ear to like.
I'm gonna blow in it, obviously, just to see if it works.
You
'cause that seems
blow
like the
into
thing
it.
to do.
Into my ear.
The cornet being like, "Whoa," because that obviously makes sense.
Yes, it is a clarion. It is a beautiful note and tone. Even though I'm sure your embouchure is not spectacular with that giant mustache, it wants to be played.
Oh, we're gonna play "Feel So Good" obviously on it, right? Because that's what you do.
I know what we can get the king, the Goblin King.
What can we
What
get?
if we made a song and then we performed it for him?
What?
You just gave him the shiny.
Well,
King Tight Pants himself? Ugh.
but
You're very tight
loves
pants.
music. We could make a whole. You guys, listen. I'm trying to get in on the team project because Basil's not going to come up with anything on their own. So I got to make sure that we get involved with you all, so that we all have a present, so that we can all be happy.
Yeah, you can
I
all.
got us the horn hat.
Yes, you can certainly all show up at the Goblin King's castle with one gift between you. That will go well based on how you know the Goblin King to be.
All right, let's look out for some other stuff.
So, who is going to go fishing?
I'll go.
All right. Ulrich snatches the makeshift net on a pole. Difficulty 2. Is there anything that you have that would make this particularly easier for you or harder?
I think it's going to be harder because I'm doing this and I'm not really wanting to. This is just not only is it's a terrible inconvenience, not just an inconvenience, it's a terrible inconvenience.
Yes.
And I'm gonna be muttering, yeah, Goblin King all the time wants the stuff. Get the stuff with the stuff.
Yes.
So
Give it a roll.
all right, that's a bad day for me. So that's a 1.
Oh. So Ulrich, in your mind, you're thinking, he deserves like a lump of coal or a soggy spitwad or a half-washed chamber pot or whatever.
Heck yeah.
And almost as if manifesting from what you're thinking, there's a bit of a smell, and you feel a very strong tug on the net, and you are pulled into the pool. The rest of you see the net on a pole being jerked and Ulrich leaves his feet. I mean, like is just pulled in and splashing, but comes up sputtering and spluttering and choking. You can't touch the bottom. You can't touch the bottom. But you can certainly swim back in.
You swimming?
Can dwarves swim?
Yeah. I mean, they can dog paddle. It's not pretty. It's not particularly. Yeah.
There's nothing pretty about this.
It's not athletic. It's not Olympic trials,
graceful.
but it's enough that you don't immediately drown and die. And you're able to, and then with the help of your friends, all right, you're able to pull yourself back out and
I have
drip
a major
drip
pain
there.
from Shavonk.
Thanks, Chev.
We also got a minor bane from pain if we missed it.
Beautiful. Thanks, Payne.
Rude.
You lost us our net.
Well, no, you didn't. But now you have because of Chev's major bane. So you now have no net. It's in the pool.
Priceless.
Sorry.
And now another major boon from Sen. Awesome.
Now, where will I get a donation box?
I know.
The only one I had.
Well, I'm gonna look around because I feel kind of bad.
Well, there are trees, dead, dry trees, some scraggly yellowed grasses.
Everything's encrusted in glitter.
Yes. Yeah, there's a faint kind of glitter. There are a surprising number of spider webs around. And of course, there's the ivy-covered walls, exterior walls of the labyrinth, and various different carvings, mostly worn away to unrecognizabilityness. That's not a word I know, but still.
Hey, Rude. Yep. Hey, can I get you to get up on top of stretchy neck hat there? Maybe if you can find some of your folks around, maybe find some eye moss that's seen something cool. Maybe we can get something done here.
Okay. Basil's hat, I'm coming up.
Meanwhile, the rest of you standing next to the pool see that it is back to being full of shiny, alluring objects.
I want the shinies.
Why do you make that noise while you're climbing?
Are you taking all day on this or what? Basil, you think you could give him a hand? Basil, wake up.
I like reach out my hand, pick up Rude, and I lift him like above my head.
Oh god. Oh jeez. Oh.
Closer to the
Set
hat.
him on the hat's shoulder area.
Oh, this is.
I would like you to look around, and you're looking for a 4.
Oh, I got a 3.
A minor boon, and a minor bane.
The minor boon will give me a +1.
Yep.
I will take it to make that 3 into a 4.
You look around, you don't see any eye moss, you don't see even any creatures. It appears to be this just sort of dusty, undulating plain going off into eternity. And then on one side and then the wall on the other. But you do catch some movement on the wall. One of the carvings is just kind of slowly shaking its head in disappointment.
What's that noise?
What are you shaking your head at, Rude?
I don't know.
What do you mean you don't know?
I don't know what it is. It's shaking its head at me.
Well, where is it?
Where is it? Where is it?
It's one of the figures looks to be carved into the wall. It's somewhat obscured by ivy. But at first you think maybe it's a little bit of wind blowing. Then you realize there is no wind blowing. And then you look even closer and you can see that it is some large carving that is just kind of observing what you people are doing and just looking very sad and disapproving.
It's up on the right on the wall behind some of that ivy up there.
There's nothing more critical than statuary. Ugh.
It's stone breaking time.
Sometimes the way
What's that?
forward is the way back. I walk back to the labyrinth to the wall. And
Yeah.
start
Basil,
clearing
Basil,
the-
no.
Oh god!
Where are
Oh
you taking
Jesus!
us?
Ah!
Hold on. Hold on.
The bird trying to flap and stop, and Basil's just like, nope, ripping off ivy. And you uncover a weathered carving of a rock troll. Horns like a bull. And it's still in quiet and its eyes are closed, and then it kind of opens one eye and looks down at you, and then kind of goes back to freezing and pretending like, I mean, you saw it, but it's like, oops, nope. Just a statue.
What do you know, statue?
Hey, Rockhead, you got some input? You think you could do better?
Loam.
Oh, I know what loam is.
Loam.
That's moss. That's moss.
That's my name. Loam.
And apparently a rock troll.
Loam.
Hi, Loam.
Hi.
You stuck?
No.
You okay?
Yeah.
Doesn't look okay.
You look sad.
Look like you got ivy on you.
You make me sad.
Oh, I hear that a lot.
Yeah. That's what the missus says.
Sorry.
Why are we making you sad?
Impatient.
You're impatient with us?
No, you.
Oh. I never thought of that.
Basil
also
just,
what
puts
it
his
always
thumb on his
says.
nose and says, "Don't be hasty."
Yes, smart.
He read that in a book.
Real chatter, this one.
You
Whoa.
detect a little bit of motion over maybe 10 feet away, and another little stone head pops itself out. This one's quite small. Wild, crazy stone hair. Little tiny pillbox hat kind of carved into the hair. Very, very large eyes. Kind of a long, pointed nose. Don't talk to them, Loam. It's not our job. Let them fail on their own time. We have more important things to do.
Who are you?
What are you gonna do?
Oh, God.
Statues.
That's Gloom.
Ah, Gloom.
Gloom and loam.
Now I get why you're so grumpy.
Yeah, it would be too.
Not grumpy. Just sad. Disappointed, yeah.
I'm not mad.
I'm good at words.
Disappointed.
I'm good at words.
It's all those books you've been borrowing from Cleo.
That's some good books.
Whoa.
Books.
Can I ask you a question?
Lots of bad books.
Yeah, you just did.
All right, thank you. All right, he's good for questions. You can take over now. I've done my part.
I'm actually interested in what's Gloom, what are you doing?
I'm doing my job.
Okay? Well, you doing a great job. Do you feel good today? Are you having a good day?
I'm satisfied with my lot in life.
well.
Thank you very much.
That's good. That's good.
What are you doing here,
hey,
running around outside the labyrinth like you shouldn't be?
Well,
Fixing our
trying to
bath.
find some sweet gifts for the Goblin King, and I feel like Loam didn't tell us anything, but I feel like maybe we might be being impatient, and I was wondering if maybe you had any insight into that.
I think it sounds like you're trying to butter them up.
Ah, yes.
So why don't you give me a roll to butter them up? I think it's going to be a 3. It's
Oh, man.
hard.
Okay. I got a 1.
Oh.
No.
Meg, use that major boon.
Oh, I got a boon? I'm
We've got major
Major
boons,
boon.
and I will say a major
Major
boon is a reroll. An
Okay.
advantage, basically.
Oh man, I hope I don't blow
Pretend you
it.
have an appropriate stat
Okay.
or a bonus boon, whatever. You know what I'm saying?
I got a 3.
Haha. the big giant eyes kind of narrow, and you can hear the sound of like stone grating on stone and little kind of flecks of dust as its stone eyelids grate over its stone eyes. And it kind of looks at you. Well, you're at the fishing well. Why didn't you get what you need and go?
We lost our net.
Make a new one. Or a fishing pole or something.
It's what you need and what you got.
Pole.
How do you catch a whale
You're
with a fishing
covered
pole?
in garbage. Certainly you can think laterally or something.
Oh, watch what you say about that.
That's
That's
shiny garbage.
Garbage. This is all treasure. I'll have
Garbage
you know,
treasure.
it's priceless.
Now you're gonna sell
Rude, shut your mouth. You don't know what you're talking about.
It's shiny treasure. I'm saying.
Here we go.
Okay.
All day.
It's garbage, but it's shiny garbage.
Gloom,
I'm
this
looking at
always
it.
happens when you talk to them.
I'm gonna start weaving the ivy that I pulled off the statues into a new net.
Sure.
Basil, what are you doing?
Making a net.
Oh my God, that's brilliant,
This
Basil.
is super. This is
Don't put your
super
hands on
easy.
me.
This is super easy.
Oh, I'm sorry, I'm sorry.
It's a 2 because there's a chance that you can roll a 1 and mess it up, but make the roll.
Rolled a 1.
We, I think, have a minor boon if you would like.
Nope, I think we used it.
Spent it. We have one minor bane.
We
One
just have
minor
a bane. No.
Make it a 0.
So Basil is distracted.
Wait. We got.
Wait, Hatter.
We got a boon.
Okay,
Hatter.
thanks, Hatter.
Oh, thank God.
Once again, okay, which is what you need. So we'll say that Basil gets distracted. Basil has an idea, and it's a very clear, lucid idea. And then just kind of begins doing it, and then is so pleased with himself for having a clear, lucid idea and acting on it in a logical fashion to kind of loses track and winds up sort of creating some weird, like, giant Chinese finger trap. And is like struggling against it, but the hat is able to help extricate you. So you have created. It's more like a fish trap than a net, which is kind of like what you got in your hands in. But you figure if you can like attach it to a branch or something, that would serve as a replacement for the net.
Okay.
All right, I'm gonna walk over and whap a branch off a tree with a wrench then, because
Easy
wrench is
enough.
good for stuff.
Easy enough to do. And the center of the wood, it's like, you're expecting maybe some sap or maybe just dry wood, but there's a puff of faintly glittery dust. It's like this whole thing is hollow, and it makes a weird kind of ringing noise when you hit it,
Really?
like a xylophone.
Like maybe it's hollow?
Yeah, it looks like it's shaped like a tree, but maybe not a normal tree.
Ooh, let's look in the hole. So I knocked the branch off. Is there a hole or something you can look in?
Yeah, it's very small.
Pretty small. I'll stick my head in it.
Yeah. The
He's a
wind.
tiny guy.
There's a little gust of wind picks up, and your face is covered in this kind of slightly sparkly white dust.
Oh, you're shiny.
Hey, check me out. I'm sparkly.
Yeah,
It looks great
you
on
look like a
you.
Twilight vampire, very pale and sparkly.
No, wait, there's no need to get mean. There's no need to get mean.
I'm just saying, it's not a good thing.
Like that. Ah. All right. All right. So I'm just all sparkly now then.
Yeah, but you're not harmed. But you do have a stick.
I got a stick. Hey, look, it's a stick.
And someone is going to. Are you going to repeat the performance there, Ulrich?
Oh yeah, I am.
All right. Are you going to think about how much you hate the Goblin King and want bad things to happen to him as you are digging into the fishing well, or are you going to try a different approach?
See, now I got a different approach because I'm covered in glitter. There's only so angry you can be when you're covered in glitter.
When you feel pretty. Yeah,
True.
Right.
That's fair.
it's true.
All right, here we go. There we go.
All right. Just a 2.
And we get a 3 this time, so
Beautiful. So You retrieve a periscope.
Periscope.
It's very it's very, very fancy, and maybe you don't recognize precisely what it is at first, but maybe Rude does because you've read books on science and engineering. It is about maybe 2 feet long. It's like a tube that hooks in opposite directions on each end. There's an eyepiece on one end, and there's a lens on the other, and in the center it telescopes.
Okay, so this thing's obviously broken. Why would you put pieces of glass in a perfectly good brass drain pipe?
Hold it up to the light.
Look at this thing. What are you going to drain light with for?
Just look at the light through the tube.
No, I don't. Why would I stick my face up to a tube? You're crazy.
And I'll look at
You're crazy.
Don't give it to her. We'll never get it back.
Listen, you put your eye up to a pipe, you get what you deserve.
Okay, then get what you deserve. Put your eye up to the pipe.
Put my eye up to the pipe. You put your eye up to you put your eye up to the pipe.
With
I'll
some
put my eye up to your pipe.
I'm going to continue to have a completely
family show. Seriously, Moro. Gross.
What just happened? I missed it.
Basil's just going to grab the periscope away from them.
Yep.
Put
Where'd the
his
pipe
eye
go?
to it.
Huh?
And put the
See, that's how you lose a pipe.
periscope into the water and look.
I mean, it's super awkward. It's clearly meant to be held and have the periscope up as opposed to down, but you can make it work. It looks like water. Looks like endless dark water.
I told you it was useless.
But if you hold it,
pipes.
if you flip it back up, it can extend high enough to see over the walls of the labyrinth, in fact.
Really?
That side goes up, Basil. That side goes up.
And of course, because you sank about a foot of it into the water, with this advice, you turn it the right way and you're like, oh, I can see. And then the water that had seeped into it works its way down and then splashes directly into your face. But after it clears out, you have, it's a very clear view. And it even, it looks like the mirrors in it are such that it's designed to, like I'm going to try to say the perspective isn't just straight out the top. It's actually angled slightly down to let you see what's on the other side of one of the walls of the labyrinth. And Basil is addled and a little crazy, but recognizes that could be quite valuable to some. And it's an interesting kind of steampunky contraption. There's a bunch of like knobs and wheels and stuff on it that you're not quite sure what they do.
This looks like technology.
Looks fancy.
You have a wrench, Ulrich. And
Yeah.
Basil just hands you the thing.
All right.
That's a cog.
Looking at stuff.
Hey, Ulrich, this will be good for you because you know you're way down there.
Okay, salty look time.
You can literally put it up to eye level with Basil's hat.
Oh, then I'm definitely going to do that so that the hat can see the salty look. I'm just
Yeah.
it's going to be the look.
And you see a very weird, distorted, just kind of this of Ulrich's face.
So it looks normal. It looks normal, is what you're saying.
Right.
Yeah, I just laugh because I'm so content with myself.
So,
You know what? Haberdashers aren't what they used to be. All right. Do we need to get some more stuff? Get some more junk for Captain Tight Pants?
You look very dashing.
Try.
Of course.
all right.
We should have Cleo do it. I'm sick of fishing for big hair.
Yes, good.
All right. Now, if you are, for example, particularly strong, or athletic, or even quick, any of the traits that you might have could help you.
Cute.
Yeah.
Cleo
You
Hall's
have
carpet
well,
around all
look.
day.
Well, you have the flaw, shiny, or shinies. But flaws and traits are somewhat ambiguous. In some situations, they could be helpful, a flaw. In some situations, a strength could be a weakness. In this case, I think your acquisitive nature might actually be a strength for you. So I will say go ahead and roll that with advantage, meaning roll twice, take the higher. Looking to beat a 2.
So my higher was a 5.
Ooh, excellent. You recover a bag of marbles.
Mm-hmm.
And they kind of just look like regular old like kids marbles. But as you look at them inside each of them, the kind of the color striations kind of shift a little bit in the sunlight. They're very, very sparkly.
Wait, they don't get bigger, do they?
They don't get bigger. They're just sitting there. But as you open it up, it's like, oh, it's a bag of marbles, which is actually really cool. But as you look at them more closely, they shimmer and move a little bit on the interior.
My cousin had a cart like that once.
I think she's just like picking them up individually and just holding them up and like,
Yes.
ooh, and then dropping it back in the bag.
All the shinies.
Ooh. Yeah.
Now, the
Don't
downside-
bust along to Basil's hat.
Yes.
Lost marbles.
It's true. Yeah, your flaw helped you to recover them, but your flaw might also make it hard to part with them.
They
I
are
don't
precious.
want to give them away.
Well,
Yeah, my precious.
yes.
She
That's
lies
3.
with great pain.
That's 3 gifts
All right.
for the Goblin King.
I have a question.
Yes.
For the Goblin King. Do I have to bring one too, or do I just count with Basil?
Do you think if you walked up to the Goblin King on his throne, riding Basil's head, and Basil handed over the lovely golden coronet and you had nothing, that the Goblin King would say, oh, that's fine. You're just a hat. You're just along for the ride. I don't expect anything of you.
What if I just close my eyes and like crumple and just look like a hat instead of a thing?
He's very easy to fool and he's very, very forgiving. These are 2 things you know to be true about the Goblin
Dang
King.
it. Okay. I guess, so should I go fishing? Can I even fish?
Don't see why
a little
not.
Closer. I
Hold
can
it up
hold you.
to Basil's hat's beak and be like, here,
Basil,
take
can
it.
you just lean over a little bit? Over the, oh, not that far.
Yes.
Basil
Basil, slide.
decides to take
I
a
will-
nap, but like
gonna-
on the edge of the pool.
It
So
just
his
like
head is like
lolls
kinda-
over.
Yeah.
I'm going to take this opportunity to hop down onto the ground.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
Yes.
a good idea. Yeah, I'll fish. I'll try. It's gonna be awkward for me though.
Yeah,
It's
I
almost
think
like,
I think you're right. I think
disadvantage
it
style.
I think it is. Just because of your
I'm a hat, you know.
and Basil's asleep.
Basil's not helping me at all.
Exactly.
As per usual.
I'm like snoring gently in a way that like makes my head go up a little bit and then
Yeah.
down some.
So I'm like,
Yes.
I'm like trying to adjust.
I use my traits of listening and spotting and try and help Basil's hat by pointing at stuff. Actually, be helpful for once. Just shut up and point. You know.
You can try the thing is there's nothing real
Yeah.
for you to
so-
point at until you fish it out. Like
Okay.
you can call out, oh, no, over there, no, a little bit left, but then like the forms are just amorphous and shimmery until just the moment they're lifted out of the water.
All right.
Well, we've got chat's like saving our lives tonight, like
That's true.
hardcore. So
And thanks,
I'm
Maura, for
just
keeping
gonna-
track of the boonage.
I don't mind I'll do it at disadvantage because it makes sense, and then we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
And I might steal one of those boons if we need it. Ugh. All right.
And you're just
So
looking for
here we go.
2. I'm not trying to make it hard for you. You're fine.
Hey, I got a 2 and a
You're
4.
fine.
Nice.
You recover like you think maybe like a drumstick or
I'm like,
yeah, it's or maybe like a single wind chime. It looks like it's kind of carved almost like a drumstick is, so it kind of narrows to a relatively dull point. But it's just a somewhat shiny stick, maybe 10 inches long.
Be careful with that.
Okay, so let me ask you this. Is it like a wind chime where it's like hollow in the middle?
You're gonna kind of try like maybe clack it with your beak to see if you can make a
and
chime.
See if I can like look down. Like, is there like a way to look through the two? Like, basically, here's kind of what I'm thinking. If it's shaped like a drumstick but it's hollow, like you can. I was gonna say pass wind, but you can like put wind through it.
Yeah.
Like, is it something that I might be able to fashion into like a pipe or a flute or like a, like a fun, like.
Is it a magic wand?
Well, so you move it around and you wave it around and you think, well, maybe it's, and just clack on it like a parrot will with something that's exploring, and somehow you're able to activate it, and it doesn't shoot out of your beak; it just extends very rapidly and slams into the side of the labyrinth exterior wall, kind of right next to Gloom, who then says, "You'll put an eye out with that thing."
Oh,
Be careful.
How do I retract this thing?
You can just kind of yank on it, and then it shrinks back to being this little small.
Oh, that's
stick.
crazy.
That
Okay, cool.
Kind of jolt. It like jostles
Right.
Basil, and now Basil's awake. What? What? What?
Basil, I found an extendable stick.
An extendable stick. Let me see that. Basil like reaches up and grabs it.
Yes.
Wait, no, don't.
Do you activate it?
No,
But are you fiddling with it?
I will eventually. Yes.
I mean, are you very carefully holding it specifically to not activate it, or are you just grabbing it?
I think I was asleep, so I have no idea how it works. So of course I just.
Cool.
If you punch Gloom, Gloom's gonna be so mad.
No, there's a spring noise, and then you guys look around and like, oh crap, where's Basil? Where's Basil's hat? And then you hear from above, up here, and you guys are like hanging on to the top of this pole, 30 feet in the air. And the pole, it's ever so slightly bendable, like not much at all, especially for it being just a very, very thin piece of some sort of silvery metal. But it like doesn't bend more than like a degree or two. But there's just enough that you're kind of swaying. Well, Basil had it in his hand, and then it just like shot up, and Basil's just kind of like hanging there. The bird is just sort of flapping.
Stabilize it. I gotta run and say, we gotta help.
You guys always got a lord that you're taller than us.
Wait. Hat. Do you
Yeah.
have the periscope?
No.
Ulrich has the periscope.
We
You
could see
fell
so much
asleep.
from
I
up
gave
here.
it to Ulrich.
You can see a lot from up there.
What? I can't hear you.
Hat, what did you see? What your hat I see?
I see. I'm gonna be sick.
You see the statue of a rock troll just like, oh.
Loom's not happy with us.
You see a small gnome-like statue just like grabbing at the edge of ivy, like trying to pull it back over herself, like to cover herself up so she shouldn't have to witness this. And then you see the vast labyrinth spread out before you.
Okay. Is there anything like I try to focus in on the labyrinth and right outside the labyrinth? Do I see anything further away that looks like it might be shiny or anything like that? Like, do I notice, like, now that I'm used to the swaying and I've kind of gotten into the rhythm of it, I'm able to kind of like focus and like really look at stuff and look around. And I'm wondering if I see like something that will direct us where we should go next, or if there's something else really cool that we could be getting, if we can't wish everything
that there's all sorts of stuff in the labyrinth that is wonderful and surprising. And
like outside the labyrinth.
You just see miles and miles of dust and a hill,
Okay.
like a lone hill, probably 4 or 5 miles away. And it's
That's too far to
moving.
look.
It's
Is there a
moving.
clock on that hill?
A moving hill?
Yeah,
Hill is moving.
There's a moving hill.
slowly.
I don't think the hill is
Slow
moving.
hill.
Oh, that sounds like me.
In your direction.
Coming towards us.
I don't think that's a hill.
What is it?
Yeah, you're the sage.
Looks like a hill to me.
I think, well, I can't see very well. My eyes are a bit roomy.
I have glasses.
They're worm-sized.
Hey. Okay.
But if I had to guess, based on my extensive knowledge of the history and culture in this region as the 4th Earl of Marshmallow.
5th.
So you gotta get on with it.
5th Earl. You're the 5th.
I'd say that it's
Earl.
something that wants to eat us.
Like a turtle?
That's not any better.
I mean,
Oh, I know a good recipe
Yeah.
for turtle soup.
pretty much. There's a reason that people don't leave the labyrinth.
Oddly
We should
enough, it
go
doesn't
back
need any turtle.
inside.
You have a while.
Was
It's moving very slowly. You have a while, but you don't want to be here forever.
We still need another gift.
Let's go fishing. Gotta
Wait.
try fishing again.
I know what to do. I
Yes.
read a book on
Has
this.
the net.
Yes.
I
Oh, yeah.
have read Moby Dick. And I
Yes.
put on my little sailor hat.
Okay.
And I take a tiny little toothpick.
Yes.
And I jump in and I hunt my white whale.
Oh, no.
Yarr!
I'm gonna pick him up. Be like, no.
Dude, what are you doing?
I'm
no whales in there.
possessed.
It's
A worm?
so
Worm possessed.
Rude can actually jump quite, especially when they inch themselves back and then make a spring. So would someone like to try to fish Rude out?
Yarr!
Go for it. You're aiming for a 2.
5.
Excellent.
Oh,
So Rude, you're just splashing around in water, right? And you're trying to stab stuff. It's just water. And as far as you can tell, it goes down forever and there's nothing in it. However, it's kind of like you're the bait on a fishing line. So I will say that this counts as you fishing.
Oh no.
And
Let's
you
go. This is for
recover.
Uncle Timmy.
Ooh, you recover a flag on a little flagpole. It's very, very small.
What's on the flag?
It's just a white flag.
Oh.
Like it's a little triangular pennant. There's no sign or symbol on it, but it is 100% just a little white flag, like a surrender flag, basically.
Huh, nice. This will be useful.
Could
I
be.
surrender a
I
lot.
need that later.
Never
I
know.
get drowned, and he gets a flag.
So,
All right, I need to go fishing. I need to get something for Mr. Tight Pants.
you have the periscope.
Oh, that's right. I got the periscope. Wait, didn't somebody take the periscope from me?
No, they
I
gave it
didn't.
back.
Heck.
They gave it back.
That's right. After they looked at it and they got what's coming to you when you look into a pipe. Yeah.
Yes, that's true. So I believe now everyone should have written down the item that they have recovered, the strange, slightly unexpected item that they have recovered from the fishing well. Yes?
Yep.
All right. So, you think you probably have an hour before whatever that giant thing is that looks like a hill in the distance, probably a dragon, comes over here and eats you. So what do you do now?
I think we have to figure out how to get down from this pole.
Would you like to get down from the pole?
I think so.
All right. Yeah, why don't you just go ahead and make me a roll to see if you can figure it out?
Okay.
It's just a 2. It's super
Look.
easy.
I have no faith in Basil's ability to do anything athletic.
Me neither.
It's a 3. I got a 3.
Yeah, it doesn't require athletics. You just got to go. It occurs to Basil in that moment. It's like, well, I activated this thing. I should be able to deactivate it. And you do. and it's like a little rapid elevator, just shrinks back down. Not so fast that you fall 30 feet and die, but faster than you'd like. But so you could maybe toddle a little bit and, fall back on your bum, but no damage.
Oh, my aching joints.
Yes.
Let me
Yes.
help you up there.
You try to pull up Basil, and Basil is a surprisingly sturdy old man, and he pulls you down instead.
I go tumbling.
This isn't the time for wrestling. We need to get back inside.
Maybe it's a puppy pile. Maybe you're all just going to like roll around on the ground. Take a nap.
Yeah, that'll make us look extra appetizing when that thing comes to eat us.
Yeah. Rude, now that you know what to pay attention for, you become aware of a very low thud. Thud. Like some massive creature's footsteps. You cannot hear it, you can feel it through the ground. But you can hang around and see what happens. Hint, it eats you all. Because it's for sure a dragon.
For sure a dragon?
For sure a dragon. Yeah.
That's the dragon. I've definitely read about dragon stomps in a book before.
Yep.
Hey, let's
and you
go.
all know the Goblin King warns you not to leave the Labyrinth because there's all sorts of horrible things out there that will eat you. Not to mention the ghosts of everyone else who has ever defied him and that he is exiled.
We should go back inside
We
the
should.
labyrinth.
Yeah, you should.
definitely
How are you
should.
going to do that, though?
All right, I'm gonna use my listening and spotting and see if I can spot a
Yes.
sewer grate
Okay.
or a drain or something. It's big enough to get into.
3.
3.
Maybe we should
Hey.
use one of those boons or
Perfect.
4.
Perfect. You do not, in fact. You came out of one and you go over to find it and it's gone.
oh yeah.
Yeah. But what you do see as you're searching around, it's like, well, maybe I missed it or maybe it moved. And Lo will say, crawled off.
They do that. I hate it when that happens.
But-
Crown off.
There's a door next to each of Gloom and Loam, disguised behind the ivy.
All right.
Should we knock?
Always good manners to knock.
Yeah. Do we have gifts?
Yes, we all have gifts.
Oh, good. Let's go in then.
Go on, knock
Which
on.
door?
No.
I like Loam better. So let's go into Gloom's door.
What?
No,
Gloom.
no, it
That makes perfect sense. Let's do it.
makes no sense. That's why I said it.
You gotta
Exactly.
ask him questions first. Gloom. Where's
Yes.
your door go?
Inside. But why would you
Inside
want to go
what?
there? Inside the labyrinth, the Goblin King's realm.
What
We know
part
this.
of the labyrinth?
It's not like an oubliette or anything. It's like legitimately just a way to get in.
Well, maybe.
Yeah.
It depends.
On what?
Well, a chance, I guess. The Goblin King's whim. The alignment of the heavenly spheres. Something. You can never really tell, can you?
Not with statuary. Statuary never gave anyone a straight answer. Ugh.
Where are you trying to go? Just in? If you're just trying to go in, you might as well use his door. His door just goes in.
Why?
Because his door just goes in.
Where would
Mine
he say that
goes
your door goes?
deep in.
Yeah.
Well, we do have to get to the castle to give the king his presents.
My door might lead you close to the castle.
Why
Or
we
is
should
not?
probably
Might
take that
not?
road.
His door just leads you to right to the edge of the labyrinth.
Jeez.
Group huddle. Group huddle.
All right.
If we go into the labyrinth through loom, we'll probably be alive, but very far from the castle.
Yeah.
If we go in through gloom, we might be closer to the castle, but also we might not be alive.
Yeah.
That's the vibes I'm getting. Basil, how do you feel about it?
Yeah, you're the wise
Well,
one.
I think we should go close to the castle, obviously.
All right, that makes me nervous. We might need to go through loom.
What? No. Can't you and your cat ever agree?
I don't think we've ever agreed on anything before. It would be a shame to start now.
I'm not big on change.
Well, why don't we put it to a vote? Who wants to go through Gloom's door?
Which one was Gloom again?
And
The little
the door
gnome
that will get us closer to the castle.
that will take you far in.
Yeah, let's go there.
I would like to think about it.
We don't have time to think about it. Do you want to get eaten? Should I just throw you back in the pool?
No.
Let it wait for you? Then pick a
Uncle
door.
Timmy. Uncle Timmy.
I want to go close to the castle.
I'm just gonna climb over the wall.
Okay, good. Then I think that's 3 against 2. We're taking the door that takes us closer to the castle.
No.
It's gonna end well.
Nope. We're gonna
I mean, neither of them's going to end well, let's face it.
It's the
So we
labyrinth.
might as well
Nothing
be
ends
closer
well.
to the castle.
Yeah, might as well.
All right, let's do it.
All right. You see the little gnome Gloom kind of peek out behind the curtain of ivy and kind of give a nasty look at Loam and say, "Haha, they always choose me." And then Loam will just go, "Mm-hmm," and look real sad. Bye.
Look what we did.
Hello.
It's been nice knowing you.
It has,
Why'd
hasn't
you
it?
say it like that?
And I'm
Oh, it
sorry.
has been nice.
And I'm
Why do you
sorry.
say it like that? Should we be going through you instead?
And then Gloom will say, "Too late, choice made." And then
If this is the wrong choice, you'll never hear the
there's
end of it, Basil.
there's a click, and this door pops open, and you can see as it swings out in the daylight, it is carved with reliefs of fantastical creatures.
I never hear the end of anything with you anyway, Hat.
Do I recognize any of these
bickering.
fantastical creatures?
Well, maybe there's a fiery or two. There's a variety of different trolls: water trolls, earth trolls, fire trolls, air trolls. Giant snakes, giant toads, corgopedes.
This can't be good.
It'll be fine.
There's a scene of corgopedes jousting, which is super duper cute.
It's adorable.
Yeah,
That is really cute.
yeah. Snakes, caterpillars, butterflies, you name it. All kind of in a in a maelstrom of chaos. They all kind of look a little hungry. But other than that, it's perfectly pleasant. So
I'm sure this is fine. Let's go.
So you step through the door. It is a dark passageway. Like dark. Echoing passageway.
Forward we go.
Cool. As you stumble off into the darkness, you hear the door slam behind you. First with the sound of like wood against stone, and then you hear stone grinding as if something else has been put in place. And you stumble forward for some period of time. I assume you're all staying relatively close to each other so you don't get separated. The good news is there aren't any side passageways. And it only feels like you go 40, 50 feet before you start to see light at the end. Now, as soon as you see the light at the end, you begin to hear shifting and cracking and grinding behind you. You can feel the entire tunnel start to shake and quake. You can hear giant blocks of stone falling from the ceiling. You can, in just a little tiny bit of reflected light, you can look behind yourself and start to see that the tunnel is not just collapsing from the top, but like the sides are moving in. It's like the whole thing is closing up behind you very, very rapidly.
Do I still have the stick?
Yeah. You each have all the things that you each have your trophies.
Okay. I tell everyone, I'm like, grab the stick. And then I activate it towards the closing stuff behind us to launch us forward away from it to get through the tunnel faster.
Interesting.
And then, as soon as we get the 30 feet or whatever away, I like deactivate it so it comes right back to me real quick, and then we can keep running. Because Basil's gonna take forever. I'm just saying, we need a head start.
Okay. Interesting. We'll see how this plays out.
Oh,
so
geez, bud.
you launch it.
What could go wrong?
And you all kind of grab on, and then with Basil and Basil's hat in the fore, you are rocketed through the last 30 or so feet of this tunnel. Now, do you want to be rocketed off the cliff? Would you like to try to stop before you're rocketed off the cliff? So basically, it's kind of your choice. Do you want to see what's coming and try to catch yourself on the little lip that runs along the side of this massive cliff, or do you want to find yourself suspended over the chasm?
No, I can try to stop. Because if I can deactivate it as soon as I see it's coming, then we should just stop right where we are and fall down.
I mean, there's a thing called momentum. But it's a question.
Yeah,
it's a question.
So we weren't propelling ourselves.
Momentum isn't real.
It's a question. So it's neither good nor bad. But it's just a choice of what the narrative of this. So the hat sees it coming. That this isn't just going into a room; it's going into a cliff. So you try to, or you do succeed at deactivating it. But I need everyone to give me a check to make sure you don't fall off the edge.
Oh dear.
Oh
no.
In this case, I'm going to say, Basil, make the check. Basil's hat can aid by flapping. But if Basil goes over, the hat's going over too. The difficulty is 3.
I also got a 5.
okay, so we good.
Yeah, we're fine. Basil's
Okay.
hat.
I'm actually lucky I'm
Rude.
because otherwise I would have been.
I got a 2, and I'm using one of our minor boons to make it a 3.
Cool. Wow. How unfortunate. But so you all kind of skid, like Basil is kind of not paying attention and just kind of like drops something out and starts to stumble towards this sheer edge of a cliff, and then the hat flaps him back. Cleo just kind of tumbles and rolls and comes to a stop. Ulrich, you use your wrench to grab on to something, a chink in the stone to arrest yourself. Rude goes over the edge, but Rude can climb walls.
Oh yeah.
So Rude just kind of slips over the edge, and then for a moment it's like, oh no, Rude's gone, and then the little furry head pops back over, and you climb back over the edge.
Hey, that was close.
So
Yeah.
You're not quite sure where you are, but this passageway leads to what amounts to like a 3-foot wide carven ledge that runs along the end of this very regular cliff. The far side is about 20 feet away. Down below, you see a garden, a forest. You see like giant toadstools and fronds of some sort of kind of pinkish plant. You can see vast kind of moss-covered Like they could have been maybe statues at one point, but they've accreted so much gunk and growth, and they've kind of sunken and leaned that it looks almost like maybe like the trunks of trees. It could be too. On the far wall, you can see a plethora of openings, some of which are spitting out water, relatively clean water, creating little misty waterfalls that go down and feed this garden or forest. Some of which have bars and grates, some of which have doors, some of which are just giant yawning chasms. And as you're taking in the scene, the tunnel behind you fully collapses, and then the stones kind of chink, 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 form themselves into a perfectly smooth surface. If you had not known that there was a tunnel there moments ago, you would never be able to detect it.
Is this the fiery swamp?
It is not somewhere you've been before.
Oh.
Although that's not entirely unusual. As soon as you leave, sometimes even if you don't leave familiar areas of stone walls, the labyrinth, you can find yourself in an unusual situation regardless. But no, if anything, it seems very pleasant.
That's suspicious. It doesn't smell funny, does it?
It smells like spice and a little bit of fresh baked bread, like a little yeasty but pleasant. It smells like crushed fern, wet stone.
So not like the Bog of Eternal Stench. That's the important part.
Yes.
That's where we're not. All right, we're
Yes.
good. We're good. We're good for now. All right.
It seems very nice.
Yeah, as I say, this seems nice.
Yeah, which means something.
Yeah, I'm uncomfortable here. Basil, what do you make of this?
I think something dangerous would feel more fair. Or
What?
look more fair, but feel more foul.
I'm just gonna sit there and think about it for a second.
I don't think I've read that one before. What about you, Rude?
Oh,
No, I'm pretty sure that those were just words.
Pretty sure that was just
If you-
word salad. That's fine.
But if you think about it,
It still doesn't make any sense.
no.
It really doesn't.
Hey, maybe the grumpy man's right. Maybe there is something there.
Like this.
you man.
Just been
No.
thinking about it for a while. Anyway. Can I look around and see if I can spot any standpipes that might have like a label on them or some indication of where we're at?
Sure. Make the roll 3.
Yeah, right on its edge. Oh, doing good. All right, got a 6 on that one. Anything?
You see up above that at one time there was some sort of like rope bridge or chain bridge that crossed this chasm, but it looks like it has since like collapsed or maybe the chains just rusted. Maybe someone broke it for fun. Who
Budget
knows?
cuts.
Yeah, exactly. Bad, poor maintenance.
Yeah.
And there is a little bit of a sign. Like you can just kind of see the edge, and with your periscope, because it does a little bit of magnification, and you can get the angle just right, so you don't have to like lean too far out over the edge. You can just with your periscope get the angle right to read part of a sign.
Oh, I can read part of it. What does it say?
It
I saw
says
the sign.
something of dreams.
It's weird that they should start a sentence with something. I don't know.
It's a word that you
No,
can't like
nice.
make out. Like there's a tiny little part of a letter you're not quite sure, but there's a word, and then you can see very clearly of dreams, and there's a sign pointing down.
Well, thanks to budget cuts, it looks like the sign is now just says something dreams straight down. I don't think it's a good idea.
I blame the editors.
You think so?
The publishing house is always the cause.
So
Probably bad proofreading. You know, if there was an index, we'd be able to get through this. Anyway, there's no sense crying over non-indexing.
Well, there is. There's time and place.
All right. So
Tuesdays.
So Cleo.
Yes.
Yeah, you got any like big string rope, something like that?
I collect these things. Take like a whole like loop of jump ropes
Yep.
out of my bag
like
and be
this.
like, I have so many of these and I've been waiting to use them.
Oh no.
Yep.
Oh no.
I don't think that's going to work at all. Wait, no, we've got Rude.
No.
Yeah.
No.
What's the plan
you're
here?
perfect. You can go in the end and we'll tie them together. What could go wrong?
We just went fish. Fine, let's do it. Come on.
Rude, if you do this, I'll give you my prized copy of the Unicorn's Misfortunate Journey.
I only have 6 of those.
And this one's in the best condition yet.
That's a deal. Ooh, leather cover.
Yeah, with like the gold inlay on the. Oh, it's beautiful. Okay, done.
That is a nice copy. That is a nice copy.
Yeah. Cleo, you almost promised to give Rude your one-of-a-kind Bennifer breakup edition of People magazine, but then you decide it's too precious.
Yeah, I can't part with that.
Yeah.
Sorry, Rude. Not even for you.
I'd sit with the creep.
You're also using my jump ropes, so
Yeah.
you know.
So you're going to do what with your jump ropes tied together? It's only, to the top of the frondy ferns and weird, slightly glowing mushrooms and things. It's maybe only 25, 30 feet down.
I'm 3 feet tall.
I am 1 inch tall.
So
Yeah,
are we
that was
lowering Rude into that?
We're gonna reconnoiter.
wait, did you say we're 30 feet up?
Yeah.
What if we take this thing and we shoot it downward and then we slide down it like a fireman's pole?
You can do either or both.
Let's do that.
You don't want to send the worm down first to see what's there?
Oh,
Yeah.
never mind. Yeah. Maybe
Oh yeah, for like reconnaissance.
That's the reconnaissance worm, obvious, right? Yeah.
Obvious. That makes so much
Yeah,
sense. All
yes.
right, this little
It's like in my Tom Clancy novels. No, don't worry.
Who's
Yes.
Tom? Work third shift? I don't know.
Right. So you tie your children's jump ropes together. Rude clasps onto the handle of the bottom one, and then you lower Rude down. You kind of spin a little bit as you go. You maybe get a little bit dizzy there, Rude, but you are lowered through the canopy, and it smells woody and spicy and wet and cool and it smells lovely. There are sounds. You can hear some rustling in the underbrush. You see the flitter of jewel-toned birds kind of flittering in and out of this canopy. And it's a good maybe 15 feet further down before you are deposited on the top of a very mossy and soft stone.
Loam.
Well, moss, but yeah.
Why
There's
are you
not
making all those satisfied sounds down there? What's going on?
It's cozy.
there's not a lot of small undergrowth. I mean, there are some ferns and lichens and mosses, but it's not like it's vastly overgrown. You can see a fair distance. It looks like this entire crevasse has been filled with a little fairy forest.
It's fairy folk.
I mean, you don't see any fairy folk.
Well,
I mean,
it looks like
no one has shot you with elf shot, and then while you're paralyzed, slowly eaten you alive. So you're pretty sure there aren't any fairy in the immediate vicinity.
yet. No one has done any of that
Yet.
I don't see anybody. It's very pretty. Yeah. Oh, come on
Is
down.
there anything shiny down there?
Water? Birds. A lot of birds. Shiny bird.
Wow.
Shiny birds.
Those don't like to be added to the pile on my back. I've tried.
You do have
I don't know.
You do
I
have
was
some
quite
bird
successful.
cages.
I do. Ooh, maybe I can finally catch one.
I used to be real shiny.
Yes. And
Oh, now
And-
look at you.
one of the birds, Rude, will flit and land very close to you and look at you, kind of cock its head and look at you curiously. It's large enough that it could probably take a hefty chunk out of you, but it's a very small bird. And when I said jewel-like colors, now that you're up close, it looks to be made out of emerald.
Oh, they're birds made of jewels.
Oh.
Like its eyes are emeralds. It has feathers, but the feathers or maybe the feathers are very, very finely carved jade or something. But it's a variety of different green, precious and semi-precious materials that seem somehow also to be alive.
I would like to make sure that I'm waving my white flag so they know I mean them no harm.
Ah, interesting. Why don't you go ahead and try to communicate with this thing that you're friends, and I would like you to do so with advantage.
Yes.
Difficulty 2.
Oh, good. That means I roll twice.
Roll twice, take the higher.
Oh, thank God. 4.
Yep. It's kind of like curious, kind of like eyeing you up and like maybe doing some math in its bird mouth or bird brain to see if you would fit in its mouth. But as soon as you pull out the white flag, it's almost like it loses interest. And then it goes and pecks at some like little seeds or something that have fallen on the ground. It's almost like as far as it's concerned, you're not even there anymore.
It's nice down here.
All right, maybe we should try the stick thing.
All right. I'm going to activate the stick and then I'll just hold it while everybody else goes, like, slides down it.
Yep.
And then Basil and I'll go last.
Cool.
That'll be interesting.
Go ahead and see how good you are at not falling.
Oh, geez, bud.
I'm going to say
Me
it's a 3.
or
Each of you.
both of us.
The hat can help.
Got a 6.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, no.
No, it's fine. You're kind of going along for the ride there.
Oh, thank
Hat.
goodness your rolls are good, Hell.
2.
Second time
Ha. 4. Beautiful. So, Cleo, you have very sticky fingers. I mean, that's a thing that's true about you. So it makes it very, very easy for you, even though you're carrying 400 pounds of detritus. You're able to kind of slide your way down. Ulrich gets about 5 feet down and then just starts slipping and comes plummeting down. And it's one of those things where you sit down really hard, kind of on your tailbone, and it's that like you didn't break anything, but you have that moment where you're like, oh, is this bad? Is this bad? Oh, I don't know, and it's okay, but I need a moment to catch my breath. Basil just is like a pro athlete.
Yeah, what the heck?
Basil just grabs on and slides down like it's nothing. But the hat is not particularly confident in Basil, given the kind of low roll. So the hat's like flapping wildly on top, like convinced that you're about to plummet to your death, and makes a huge squawking noise that echoes through this lengthy ravine. You do not fall, however. I am gonna say that one has a consequence.
Okay.
But you all make it down, and then with kind of Ulrich hobbling, trying to get the feeling back into his legs.
Didn't hurt.
When I was a young man, I was a squire, and I
I thought you were an
did
earl.
many athletic things.
When you were
How
a
you-
young man 1,000 years ago.
Why do you keep calling Basil Earl? That's not his name.
It's because it's oily.
It's because I'm the Earl of Marshmallow. The fourth Earl of Marshmallow.
What? All right, that's too complicated for me. All right.
The fourth oil of marshmallow.
You can call me
Oil.
my lord if you want.
Tomorrow. I'm going to call you Basil.
I think
Well, you could
Basil
also
makes
call
half of
me
this
Basil.
stuff up.
Look, I have the
Nobody
ring.
has any record of it though, because Basil's the oldest thing out here.
Makes half of it up and lies about the other half. Yep.
I have. It says in my inventory that I have the signet ring of the Earls of Marshmallow.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which is a stylized s'more.
Rampant, right?
Yeah, a s'more rampant.
All right, my lord, let's get on with it.
So what do you do now that you're in this lovely fairy forest? You've attracted a bit of attention from these jeweled birds who, like, there's sapphire and topaz and citron and azurite and a variety of just all the shades of the rainbow. Like, one is hematite, so it's like a black and silvery, very sleek looking. Yes, hat.
Question: does Cleo visibly have bird cages on her person?
Of course.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Hey,
Everything's visible on her person.
you think we could catch one of these birds in a bird cage?
I'm planning on it. Do you want? Maybe we should all take a cage. We can all try to catch one, and then give them back to me because they're mine.
But how,
I
but how do you?
You can look.
I'm just saying, it might not be a bad idea to have backup presents for the boss in case we lose something or something breaks or like something, you know. And shiny gem birds. It sounds pretty neat.
Yeah, but how do you bait a gem bird?
Hey, Rude, would you like to get into this bird cage?
Nope.
Pull out the toy-sized trumpet,
Yes.
and I hand it to who do I think's the most musically inclined person here?
Dwarves, obviously.
I mean, Basil probably thinks Basil is the most musically inclined.
Yeah,
Let's face it.
Honestly,
It's true.
when I was a young lad.
When I was a young lad, I was in
He
band
looks-
for 1,000
He
years.
looks around at everyone assembled and then says quietly to himself, "Music tames the savage beast," and starts playing the trumpet for the birds.
Cool. And your goal is to somehow make yourself alluring and to attract them and maybe lull them into a sense of a false sense of
Yeah.
security so that someone can yoink them.
I'm kind of trying to like Pied Piper the birds.
Cool. Make the roll. That's going to be a 3. And because you are using the little tiny trumpet, it is with advantage.
I rolled a 6 for the first one.
So Basil wasn't lying. Basil is a talented like jazz musician, apparently. You got you know
Killing it.
it's this little tiny trumpet, but you like cup it and get a bit of the wah wah going.
Yeah.
And for whatever reason, the birds are attracted, like really attracted. There's a lot of them. And they're flitting here and there, and they are flitting into all the nooks and crannies of Cleo's whatever you've got going on over there. They're some of them are very, very small, like tiny little hummingbirds, and some of them are like actually flitting inside Ulrich's giant walrus mustache.
I'm just waving my flag as fast as I can.
They ignore Rude entirely. So at this point, Basil is still blowing the trumpet. There's a couple of them land on the trumpet. Several of them like try to land on the hat. Basil's got one arm out. There's an entire row, almost like a little rainbow of jeweled birds. There's 3-4 dozen of them. And they seem not so much just it's not like a lullaby. It's not like they just like land and stare. They seem energized and fascinated and interested, and they're just swirling around, flitting into every opening and landing on everything. Yes. What do people do?
Throw me a bird cage, Cleo.
Cleo will take off a variety of bird cages.
Ulrich, somebody hand me a bird cage because they're all flying around. I'm just gonna like, as they're flying around Basil and Basil's, I'm just trying to get them inside a cage. And if I can get one in, I'm just gonna grab another cage. We'll do like an assembly line.
Yeah.
Cool.
And Cleo's taking H1 back, passing another one off, and hooking them.
Honestly, as long as you open the door and you're willing to be patient, they'll fly into it.
I don't know how patient I am, to be honest. I feel like okay, I could be patient for a time.
Well, why don't you roll a d6?
Okay.
And we'll see how patient you are. There's not technically a difficulty on this one.
Okay. 3.
You are reasonably patient. You wait until there are 3 of them in before you think that's probably as many as I'm going to get, and then you kind of reach over with your beak and knock the cage closed. And they fly and flitter and kind of, like grab onto the edges of the cage and start to kind of like work it with their beaks. But as soon as they realize there's really nowhere for them to go, they kind of calm down and, land on the perch or on the bottom of the cage and just kind of stare out at you with their jeweled eyes.
Okay. And then do we have more cages? Do we keep going?
You hear a resonant rumble, not a growl, but just kind of a kind of sound.
This is a family stream, Michael.
Like the predator? The predator's here.
It's more like velociraptors. Yeah.
Sounds like a snore.
Sleeping velociraptors?
It's, and certainly rude, but even the rest of you can feel it through your feet. It's very, very resonant.
Uh-oh.
And deep. It's like the sound I made, but like several octaves lower.
Maybe that's enough birds?
Yeah, I think that's enough.
I think it's time to go.
Yes.
Yeah, let's
yes.
Move it along.
So where are you going and what are you doing?
That's a good question.
Moving to the other side of this canyon or whatever it is.
Okay, so you're going to try to make your way to the other side and maybe move along and see if you can find another opening? Okay, so you're searching for an opening. You get the feeling Basil's hat, having the best vantage, gets the feeling that you're being watched.
Like, is there a direction I feel like we're being watched
behind you?
In general?
Behind you.
Behind?
Yeah.
Okay. Hey,
as everyone's kind of
eyes on me.
moving relatively quickly up and like down the side of the far wall, trying to see if there's an opening or a door or something other than just unbroken mossy stone.
Old man.
Yes.
Your feathers kind of floof out. in
What do you
alarm.
need, hat?
I feel there is danger behind us. Somebody's watching us.
Okay. You keep looking on the wall. I'll look behind us.
No,
Just kind
well, but you're the one walking, Basil. You gotta look along the wall. I'll watch behind us.
Oh, then what are you telling me for, hat?
I need you to know because you need to keep moving at a brisk pace forward.
A brisk pace.
Hmm?
I'm going as fast as I can.
You feel
What I was afraid of.
hat. You feel a little puff of air,
Slow down. You're going too fast.
a little warm puff of air, and a little tickle in your hindquarters. You turn around and look.
Not your hindquarters. Oh.
You turn around.
Yes, I do. What's that?
It's a cat.
Oh God.
Eyes,
You gotta keep going.
eyes the size of dinner plates.
Basil, listen.
The fur is iridescent. It's black, but it's black like a raven's wing that in the shifting light that makes its way through the canopy of this forest catches it. It's got a rainbow sheen to it, to its sleek fur. And you're like, oh no. And it's in big golden eyes, but the neck just keeps going. And then you see some little cat paws. And then the neck goes down and some more little cat paws. And then the neck continues and it's more little cat paws. And you can see this thing. It's hard to tell because some of its body is like snaked off into the woods. But what reared up behind you is a caterpillar.
Oh no.
Has little cat paws. They're kind of like kneading the air, and it's looking at you. It kind of snuck up and sniffed you. Its little whiskers were tickling your feathers. And then it stares. Does a slow blink at you. Purrs.
Okay. So I'm like, Basil. Ah, Basil.
What?
Oh, it's a caterpillar. Basil.
A caterpillar?
Crazy old man.
It's something you don't see every day.
Are you my cousin Tilly?
We retracted the long stick thing, right?
Yeah.
And we have it. I'm gonna fumble around and plant that kind of firmly on its chest area. And then extend it.
Try to kill the caterpillar?
No, I'm not trying to kill it. I'm trying to push it away.
Okay.
It explodes through the caterpillar.
You murder it. I'm going to make that a 4 because it's smart and very live. And I'm going to impose a major bane to make that a disadvantage.
Of course you are. Do we have any... How many things do we have? for
Cannot
our
be.
advantage?
I can't counteract your major boons with major banes and vice versa.
But what if I use a minor bane or a minor boon to make it? No.
Yeah, they don't cancel.
Okay. It's a 3 and a 6, so it's a 3.
Okay. It just kind of, you start to put it up and a couple of its little cat paws reach out and start kind of playing with it. So it's hard to get purchase. You're going to guess it probably has like 100 set of legs in this sleek, long, snake-like cat body. And then it just kind of purrs at you. Friends. It's been so long since I made new friends. What brings you here? Did you dream of this place?
Not so much. We're kind of just passing through, you see. Cleo, you got some yarn?
Yarn. Yes, give me yarn.
Yeah, Cleo, wouldn't it be really cool if that little ball of yarn flew that direction?
It's my favorite yarn.
Oh,
I was like, no, not my yarn. Not my moldy old brown yarn.
It's so beautiful.
Can I see that?
Fine.
Take it.
Take a jacket.
It moves so fast, like a striking snake. And then you can just see the little ball of yarn being worked up and down. It's multiple sets of little legs and then it darts back out towards you. Thank you. What can I do for you in return?
Feeling very.
How do we get to the castle from here?
Oh, up and over.
Oh.
Or through. But why would you want to go to that drafty old castle? There's nothing there that you can't have here.
We have to give the king some presents.
Oh, do you?
It's his birthday.
Actually, yeah.
It's
Yeah,
not
you do.
his birthday.
Yes, but he said
He's
it's
just
his
a greedy
birthday.
child.
Listen, I'm not saying I don't agree with you. However, because of it's just we don't want to mess with him, okay?
Well, what do you have to bring to him? I suppose it had better be very impressive.
Oh yeah, very impressive. Very impressive. Very.
Yes, we got very good gifts. Very shiny. Very, very good.
Really?
Flag.
Can I ask your name?
I'm
Tilly.
the maker of dreams.
Uh-oh.
All right. So if
No, yeah, you're not Tilly.
what we could get here is the same as what we could get there, then of
Oh,
all the
better.
things being equal,
Better, anything you dream of, I can make true. Real.
Okay, all right. Well, I'll tell you what, can we put a pin in
Little
that?
friend, little
Oh, no.
inchworm. It must be so hard to be so small and so slow. Have you ever dreamed of being able to soar, free, fly, immune to the pull of gravity?
No.
Are you sure?
So I read books. Yeah, I read books. Now I don't have to do it myself. It's great.
Ah, so you, in your fantasies, you can be whatever you would like. So you
No,
escape
in my
into your
fantasies,
books.
other people are whatever I want them to be.
Ah, what would you want your friends to be?
Themselves.
I think you would like to be able to help your friends make their way to the Goblin King's castle.
Oh, well, sure. That sounds dandy.
Well, I can make that happen. And you feel a little bit of a tingle? Just like a little bit of a tingle between your shoulder blades. And you start to sprout wings.
Oh,
Yeah. I'm a little angel.
Yes. You
yes, fine.
You would love an endless toy box. Yes? Full of all the sparklies and shinies that has no bottom. You could pull a new toy from it every minute of every day for the rest of your life and never even make a dent in the bounty that it contains. Yes?
Find all the shinies I wanted.
Yes. Yes, I can make that.
Yes.
And then the trees behind kind of open up and there's this huge glowing like treasure chest. And it's like, it's so full of stuff like little stuffed animals and puzzles and toy trains and rattles that it's like it can't entirely close. And as you watch it, whatever is inside begins to grow and grow and grow, and like more things just start falling out.
Yeah, she's running over and like throwing everything onto her back. She's like, "Oh, this will be perfect. And oh, this one's even better."
Are too easy, are often complicated.
No.
I'm with the old man on this. This seems too good to be true, Cleo.
No.
But look, they're shiny and soft and squishy.
Yeah, but look at it. It's just growing out of the thing like that. Also, if you were pulling a toy out every minute of every day for the rest of your life, wouldn't you get bored?
No, I've been doing this for a while. It's usually just harder to find.
Dwarf, what do you dream of?
Bigger wrench.
With greatest respect, what I dream of is getting out and finishing what we have to do.
That's not a dream. That's something that you feel obligated to do.
That was my dream.
That for us, that's creative. All right, really, that for us, that's really creative. I'm like, yeah. I'm very creative for a dwarf. You have to understand. We have incredible imaginations. Like I can imagine at least 3 different sizes of wrench. That's what we do.
Done. and it will kind of snake around you a little bit, not like making contact, and then it will reach some of its little paws out to your wrench, and the wrench kind of shapes and shifts underneath your hand, and it grows larger and smaller, and then changes into a screwdriver, and then changes into a crowbar, and then changes into a saw, and then changes into a shovel, and then back into your normal wrench.
Oh, maybe we should just stay here forever. I don't know. No, wait, no, wait, no. Focus. One wrench is enough for any dwarf. We know this.
Loyal vassals to follow you, to pay attention to and heed your wisdom. Yes? Come, my children. And a whole bunch of very kawaii forest creatures.
Ooh,
Like a rabbit and a raccoon and a little mole, and like a stork and a deer, but all like little baby chubby looking ones in informal attire, of course.
with giant eyes.
Little hats, little scrolls to write down your wisdom, all kind of toddle over towards you and sit at your feet and look at you expectantly, waiting for pearls of wisdom to drop from your lips.
I'm gonna be honest. This is my nightmare.
Hey, Hat.
Huh?
I don't think this is real. You know why?
Why?
Because rabbits don't wear top hats.
Oh,
They have holes cut out for the ears.
Yeah, I know, but they always wear derbies. I think something's wrong here.
True. It's true.
I can't say for sure. Now, granted, I don't know as many rabbits as some people. But I ain't never seen one wear a top hat, so I think something's wrong here. Although that is a really nice screwdriver. I gotta say, no. Again,
I'm the only one who feels not good about this because everything's awful. I don't care about your screwdriver. These little kawaii things are terrible. Oh, whoa, no. Get me out of here. This guy makes no sense. Oh, whoa, no.
And you.
Whole audience pandering to him.
Meanwhile.
I can't.
And you, my delicious avian friend, what do you dream of? What would make you happy?
I don't know.
As it licks its chops.
I always thought about, not getting eaten by anything would be awesome. Also, maybe having, my own, maybe not being a hat, maybe being my own person would be cool.
So it's awkward when, Basil, you find the hat like sitting on your shoulders, like you're giving it a piggyback ride. And then you kind of feel yourself crunching down under the weight as Basil's hat, I should say, is transformed into, kind of a bird person hybrid, arms and legs. But instead of hair, there's a ruff of feathers with a little bit of a plume in the front, still with the very large avian eyes.
You just
Autonomy.
became a shoebill stork.
Yes, autonomy,
Gosh,
freedom.
I look amazing.
Yes. Your dreams are so delightful.
Oh man.
wait.
I think we're falling into a trap, everybody. Listen, this
No,
could
this is
Possibly be a trap.
This is fun.
There's as Rude is flying around, as Basil is enjoying lecturing the friends, as Ulrich is playing with his multi-tool, as Basil is exploring what it's like to be your own free individual. The cat is just like it smells something delicious.
Do I notice that this cat still wants to eat me?
It's not trying to eat you.
Oh, it's eating our dreams?
Maybe
It's not eating
eater of
anything.
dreams.
Why is he looking at it like it's delicious?
Rude. Why don't you go ahead and see what you can see from your high up vantage point? 2. Make the roll, Rude.
I got a 5.
You hear something, or maybe it's just an instinct in your head, and so you fly around so you can see the sign.
Mhm.
And the sign, in fact, does say Eater of Dreams.
No.
Good guess, Basil / Hell. As it just kind of as it just kind of curves its serpentine body around the little glen where you're all enjoying your toys and trinkets and followers, etc., and just kind of purrs and sniffs very, very deeply.
I would like to fly into its face and just start waving my flag incessantly, saying bad eater of dreams, bad. No.
All right. Well,
No.
why don't you go ahead and make a roll? Difficulty 3. You have a lot of major boons, including a new one from... Well, I know you're already rolling with advantage, so...
Oh. That was a 5.
It kind of looks at you, kind of, and then looks a little surprised. Where did he go? Your little flying friend, where did he go?
Everyone get lost. It's eating our dreams.
And then it will kind of snake up and around. I know you're here somewhere. I can smell your delicious dreams. I just can't quite find you. Come out, don't hide. I'm not going to eat you.
It's eating our dreams, guys.
Sometimes the things that we can't see are the most important.
It's your invisible friend screaming
And
to leave.
all of them. Oh, yes. All the little animals write that down. And yes. Oh, yes, it's true. It's true. The things you can't see are very important. Tell us more, my lord.
I hate this.
I love making up bad.
What do you
bad
do?
advice.
You wanna stick around here, hang out with the caterpillar? I mean, and Cleo for sure does.
Oh yeah, Cleo's down. She's
I
happy.
am loving this new body and autonomy, but I'm kind of panicked that it's still too good to be true.
It is.
Also, I kind of miss Basil. I'm not gonna lie.
My
Embrace
head is
the-
cold.
I'm always vaguely a little cranky, and I'm not right now, which makes me suspicious.
Oh, there's something
This is
wrong.
amazing.
So Basil's hat, Mrs. Basil. Why don't you go ahead and make a roll for me, Basil's hat? To reflect on your internal process of like weighing the advantages of being your own person with the nostalgia of being Basil's hat.
5. Does it count? It hit my pencil.
Yep.
Okay.
So, you, in your mind, decide it would be better to be Basil's hat. You have enjoyed your
Yeah.
brief moment of autonomy, but when it comes down to it, it's just so comfortable sitting on that knobby old head.
Yeah.
And in fact,
It's a very ergonomic head.
Yeah.
as the cat is looking around, kind of looks over at you, takes a deep breath, and it's almost like it inhales the form off of you, the humanoid form. And you're left a little sad. But you're left a hatbird,
Yeah.
Avis haberdasherus. And then you will flap
the
over
hat.
and then plop back on Basil's head, and all the little woodland creatures will clap.
Thank
One
you,
of them is
little
like
woodland creatures.
making a lovely, very, very artistic, like charcoal sketch of you, looking like regal with like long flowing hair and a sunbeam coming down on you. Wise.
You know, Hat, you haven't said anything in a few minutes. I missed the interjections. I kept pausing, but you didn't interject.
Listen, I missed you too, okay? Don't tell anyone.
That's very
We
sweet.
got to get rid of these woodland creatures, so I'm telling you what.
Yes, you should get rid of us. Anything you think, anything you say is true and right and smart and wise.
This is a trap.
Wait, if anything I say is what? The sky is green.
Yes, it's very, very green. You're so wise, my lord.
It's not real.
Doesn't it, Basil?
Like Basil just kind of harumphs a few times.
Cool. The cat.
All right. I suppose it wasn't worth anything in the first place.
The cat will kind of swoop its head down very near you, kind of like a snake, and will just open up its big cat mouth with its very, very sharp cat fangs and just kind of, and all the little woodland creatures will tumble into its mouth, and then it swallows. And they're like, "Yay, this is fun!" as they go down. And you can see all the little lumps working its way down its little body.
Horrifying. Utterly horrifying. Welcome in, Raiders.
Welcome in.
Welcome. All right. What about the rest of you?
If this caterpillar can't see me, I'm flying away on my wings of glory. A little bookworm living my best flying life.
Okay. So you're just gonna fly on up away?
Well, I mean, with the rest of the group when we eventually leave.
Oh, so what are you doing right now?
Waving my little white flag.
Just to keep, and yeah, as long as you keep it out, it's like it's as far as it's concerned, you don't exist.
I'm learning how this works. I'm taking notes.
What about the rest of you?
Cleo's like taking objects, and then she kind of pauses and like sniffs it. She's like, "These don't smell right. They're going to ruin my entire aesthetic.
They're clean and new.
I can't have these." Throw them back in the box.
All right. The cat will snake its way over to you, and then the box itself will break apart like a barn in a tornado, and just swirling pieces of stone and stuffed animals and board games, etc., will just swirl down the cat's throat. And it seems very happy. It's still purring. You want to stay, though, don't you? Find out all the wonderful things you could build and fix. No one's been down here in so long for the maintenance.
Wait a minute.
Yes.
Oh, no.
Never needed more than one wrench in my life. Now all of a sudden there's two wrenches.
You're a one wrench kind of guy. I respect that.
Wrench, screwdriver,
This is obviously
pry bar, hammer.
If it doesn't work, you hit it with the wrench. You only need one.
That's true. Yeah.
All right. So you relinquish the dream tool that can be whatever you want it to be. And Chester turns back to being the same old dented, slightly rusted, well-used wrench. And the cat
It works.
breathes in what it looks like every kind of tool you can imagine kind of just like flows out of your wrench and then down the cat's throat.
Even a micrometer.
Right. You're like, no, wait. I was joking. Ball peen hammer, no.
Oh, that's fine. It's fine. The calipers. Oh. Get me out of here.
It's going to be okay. It's going to be okay.
No, it's not, but get me out of here.
Oh.
Okay.
Sad, but thank you for the snack.
You're welcome.
Come back anytime.
Okay.
Bye, Cousin Tilly.
Or anything, or are we just
Where's
still
that?
searching blind?
Where is it coming from? Go ahead and make a find things, like maybe with Ulrich in the lead, because Ulrich is very good at that stuff.
Ulrich, find things. We want to get out of here.
Yeah. You do, in fact, find a door.
Oh. Is it marked? Too much to ask for.
No, it's not marked.
Of course. door, so it's not more. Does it have a handle on both sides or just one side?
It has a handle on the side that you can see.
But I mean, like not one on the left, one on the right, sort of deal.
No, it's just a single kind of wooden rounded door.
Ah, okay, all right.
You have to push some of the kind of pinkish frondy ferns out of the way to get at it, but it actually looks relatively well maintained. Or maybe there's a slight rise at the edges of this canyon, and so it's up a little bit higher. So it looks like maybe it's avoided becoming like soaked or waterlogged. Seems like it's in relatively good repair.
Try and open it one way. Was it open?
Yeah, you can pull it and it opens right up.
All right. If you close it, it doesn't open on the other side then, does it? Does it lead to somewhere else?
No.
Okay. All right. Just regular door.
It looks like a regular door. It doesn't talk to you.
That's weird.
The handle doesn't turn into a hand that does a fancy kind of secret handshake. None of that stuff.
Nothing?
It's very boring.
Weird.
This is suspicious.
Just crank it open.
Would you like?
It's a regular door.
Would you like a puzzle?
No.
Secrets? A lock you can pick?
Let's go. Through the door.
Okay. So you open it up and it's stairs. Stairs carved into the stone going up. And Rude, you are still waving the flag?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I will stop once we get through the door.
Okay. Yep. And it can't see you. You could hear that same kind of purring sound from the far side of the door, now closed, and you could hear it as it snakes its way through the giant mushrooms and ferns and things that make up its forest.
I want everyone to know that even though I have wings now, I'm basically all at your head level, except I don't go any faster. I still just kind of hop in the air, making my little meh.
Flying but inching. Yes. Well, you make your way up the stairs and you find yourself just in one of the many passages of the stone walls. You're in the labyrinth on the far side of that chasm. As soon as you break ground level, however, Rude, your wings disappear. Because they were just a dream.
Catch him.
And then someone reaches out and grabs him before you fall. So, you can see the Goblin King's castle. You're actually surprisingly close. But you're now in the heart or near the heart of the labyrinth, where things get strange. And, I mean, everywhere is strange, but things get particularly strange here.
Can I use the periscope, look up and see, or give it to Basil's hat?
I have a question. Are the birds still in the cages?
Yes.
Or were they dreams?
They are still in the cages. Or in the cage.
Ah.
Ooh.
Yeah. All right.
Could be rich.
What you see, Ulrich, because it's telescoping, so you can actually make it so that you can see. What you see is immediately on the opposite side of this wall is a hedge maze. So it looks like the stone outer ring here gives way to greenery, box hedge.
Mm. Okay, am I familiar with that area at all? Have I ever been there?
There's not a lot. You're not big on the gardening.
No.
And there's not a lot of stuff to fix there since it's all alive. So you probably know that it exists, but it's not somewhere that you've ever been particularly interested in going before.
Just sprinklers. Who cares about those?
Yes.
Stupid anyway. Sprinklers. Nobody likes sprinklers.
And in fact, you do see a sprinkler fly by.
Oh, is it one of the ones that goes like this and then flies back the other direction?
Yep.
I hate those. I hate those things.
Don't like them.
Oh.
They always get you wet.
Yep.
Yeah, they do.
Ruin all your books.
Dunk. No, it's no good. I hate those things. You can never tell which way they're going to go. All right. So we got Hedge Maze on the other side. What ideas?
Solve the maze.
We could set the maze on fire.
No, what?
Basil, no.
We could burn this entire place down.
Basil.
I don't think the king would appreciate that gift.
I'm
No.
with Basil on this one.
It's
Set
the
it
gift of
ablaze.
freedom from having a kingdom because we've destroyed it.
Yeah, we're just
We
like,
thought that crown was a little too heavy, so we just took it away for you.
oh man, fire's
Remember.
not always the answer. Okay.
Yes, says Meg. Right.
Yeah, I know.
You can't burn it with
Well,
fire.
what
You'd have
got into me, or maybe it was the revolutionary ideas of my youth.
You'd have to burn it. No, you can't burn it with fire. You have to burn it with something else. You just can't do it.
You just can't do it.
So we're going to try to find your way into the hedge maze.
I mean, if we've got the periscope, it'll make it easier, right? Theoretically.
Yeah, I mean, it probably moves. The bushes probably walk, but that's that's kind of the way things work around here.
Sort of par for the course.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, I vote.
And the good
that
news
we
is
use the periscope.
that will help as a tool that you have for anyone who's making the trek to try to navigate. Using the periscope will give you advantage. There is a landmark. There's a very, very large tree that seems to grow at the center of the hedge maze, which you think is going to help you navigate, because at least you have that. You have that, and then you have in the distance the spire of the Goblin King's castle to orient yourselves on. It looks like more of a hedge maze for amusement than the labyrinth proper, which is designed to confuse, distract, and trap. It's not even that high. Like, probably there are areas where Basil's hat can actually just see over the top.
Try and find entrance then, shouldn't we?
Sure.
Yes, that we need to find a place to start.
I mean, I can look and see what's inside the hedge.
Yes, you can. Once you get to it. It takes maybe 15, 20 minutes of kind of skirting up and down the wall and maybe doing a few, exploratory lefts and rights before you realize, oh, this is going the wrong direction. You cast around and eventually you do find a very ornately carved arch in the stone wall that leads into this hedge maze. The carving it's stylized birds. So there's a little bit of a drapery or ribbon, and then it's alternating birds and crowns.
You got that
Kind
stick?
of woven into this ribbon, carved into the rock.
Yeah, we have the stick.
And you push the stick. If you go, see, arches make me nervous because I'm short. I don't know why.
Mm-hmm. No, they're nice places to read a book.
What is it with you with the books?
It's a bookworm.
I lost my bookmark.
All right. On to more important things. Reading never got anybody anywhere. Anyway,
All I have is a book, Paul.
get the bookworms aside. Go ahead. Yeah, very patronizing. Yeah, that's very nice. Right. The stick. I forgot my train of thought. Maybe we should just walk through.
Let's go.
So
I
what
love solving mazes.
Well, because you have the periscope, and because it's low, and because it's, again, designed not to be particularly discombobulating, it really only takes you a couple of hours of trudging before you find the center of the maze. And it's easy to know that you're finding the center of the maze because the ground becomes a bit rough. The tree that you saw as like a very, very large tree in the distance is gigantic. it looks like it has grown so large that it has taken up whatever clearing in the center of this hedge maze once existed, and its roots have begun to spread out into the kind of inner layer of the maze itself. So quickly you find yourself kind of crawling over hillocks and underneath these arching roots. The maze itself is distorted because it's been, either sunk or raised by the churning of the earth of these giant roots, but it's still a functional maze. It still helps to kind of funnel you toward the center of this tree, where this tree lies, I should say. And it maybe is a good place to take a rest because it's shady. There may be some pools. We'll say there's a flock of sprinklers that likes to roost in the lower boughs, and so there's some pools of fresh sparkling water caught in depressions between roots, so you can refresh yourself. These are responsible sprinklers, and they tend to be nocturnal.
Oh, okay.
There's a few of them out and about, but they feed during the day and sprinkle at night.
As soon as the sun goes down, watch out.
Yeah, it's going to be very, very damp.
It'll be moist. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't like that.
Basil has already fallen asleep underneath the tree.
Yeah, Basil immediately passes out in mid-sentence, of course. Of course.
Yeah. He's like rambling, like he was like reciting poetry.
Oh, pointy bird. Oh,
I was like, Basil, can you get me closer to the water? And so Basil sat down and just passed out.
And it just drops you into the water. Yes.
Yeah, I'm trying to wash myself with this water.
Above you, you hear a piping voice. Well, hello, little fledglings.
Oh, no.
Oh, jeez.
Oh,
Hello.
I'm tired of being a fledgling.
Welcome to my domain.
Yeah, thanks. Who are you?
I'm the Sparrow Prince. Have you not heard of me?
Of course I have.
A-
I just did a long time.
A man in a feathered cloak will kind of flitter down from a lower bough and stand in front of you. He's clearly not fully human, but he's not a goblin. Doesn't look like an elf. He's not a troll. He's not a fiery. He's not a species that you're particularly familiar with. There is something very avian about his mannerisms and the way he cocks his head and looks at you.
Got a little plumage on you, man.
Thank you.
Yeah, looks
Welcome
good
to
on
my kingdom.
you. Thank you.
How about a race?
A race?
Yes.
I already am one. I'm a dwarf.
No, a contest.
No, there's no contest about it. I'm a dwarf. That's a hat. I'm sorry, man. I don't understand.
Ulrich, he means to go, to race each other, like in race cars or with
Yes.
animals. Basil, wake up. Explain racing.
Hear over the snoring. What?
Yes, I propose a contest.
Oh, you want to do a thing? Really?
Yes.
Oh, like in Black Beauty.
What?
They race
Sure.
horses. They race horses. Yeah, racing horses.
A contest of strength and wits and skill and speed.
I might only have
General acumen, physical prowess, all these things combined. Trickery being allowed, of course.
I have a major acumen.
No, I can't eat acumen. It's bad for my digestion.
No, that's what no. That's what Metamucil's for.
Oh, okay.
Some Rolaids.
All right. All right. As long as I don't have to eat it, then I'll be all right.
Well,
You got this.
only if you lose.
Uh-oh.
We have to eat if we lose.
Well, no, it's kind of the other way around.
Wait, if we lose, you eat us? I'm not into it.
Everything wants to eat me. This is normal.
Oh.
Yes,
You just
well,
look so delicious.
Eat
Rude.
everyone
I
here.
mean, we can.
You're a tasty treat, Cleo.
Thank you.
I mean,
Why? Thank you.
Nobody said that to me before.
we
No. Oh, I know.
we could just skip all the effort and cut to dinner now.
No, thanks. Not hungry.
So you want to race? Yes.
Are those our only two options?
Yes.
What are the stakes there again?
Well,
Ooh, steaks?
freedom,
I'll eat a steak.
or you're all steaks.
I don't want a beefsteak. I want to eat a steak.
Yeah, I've seen this before. I know this music. All right, so what's the deal?
We race to the top of the tree. Me against all of you. Whoever goes to the top wins. If you win, I'll point you to the nearest path out of my kingdom. If 2 of you beat me, I'll even give you a little boon. But if I beat you, well, dinner's on. Nothing personal.
Give me a sec. I've got talking over here with the colleagues.
Huddle.
Yeah, group huddle.
Literally everything wants to eat me all the time. I don't see how this is any different than my daily existence.
It's one of those dang fake contract things. So if we word it right, we'll probably be right. If we don't, then looks like Rude gets eaten.
Yeah.
Probably all of you.
We all do.
Probably all of you.
Yeah. I'm just more at peace with this than the rest of you.
We'll even think
Yeah,
about
nobody's offered to eat me before. That's
I know.
oddity.
It's a family stream.
I look so delicious. I'm so sparkly.
It's covered in grime.
And putrid.
Oh,
So a race to the top of the tree.
Yes.
All right, I'm in. Hold
got an
on, we
idea.
gotta have a group huddle. Group huddle.
Group huddle.
I'm
wait.
very slow.
How are we
Yes,
going to
fly?
get to the top of the tree?
Listen, we're
Hey,
allowed
that's
to use trickery, yeah?
Of course.
So maybe we use the stick to launch you 30 feet upward, and then you grab onto the tree, and then you just get to the rest of the top. Who can climb trees?
I climbed the garbage mounds a lot. Perhaps if I left my treasures here. Oh,
Can Bird
you
have
better
fly?
not touch them.
Cleo drops the treasures, and then suddenly she's just like this super voluptuous, beautiful,
Yeah, like super.
just a little tight black dress on, right?
Wait a minute.
It's like, wow.
I hate
The
this form.
Louboutins out of nowhere.
yeah, but she's also like built. She's like super strong.
Yeah.
She
Carrying all
absolutely
that
is like
stuff.
super,
Very
super ripped.
Right?
Yeah.
It's like you go from being hideous hermit crab woman to like Lara Croft.
Yeah,
What happened?
like a Xena type.
Yeah, Xena.
warrior
Beautiful.
woman.
So,
Question.
yes.
What are birds afraid of?
Cats.
Could be.
Yeah.
It depends on the bird.
Yeah. So you want to spook a bird?
Judge-
That's what we want.
Judgment, the judgment of others, public speaking. Public speaking is a very common fear among birds.
It's true.
It's understandable.
Yeah.
So here's the thing. The birds. Now this is a bird that likes contests, right?
Well, he's not a bird. He is the Sparrow Prince, but he's not. He's
Prince.
some elfish type creature.
You know what? You know what? They now do they like? Do they like riddles?
He likes racing.
I was thinking of maybe distracting him. Use a classic. That probably won't work then.
Oh, like if you were able to distract him into thinking about something while Cleo shoots up the tree and then climbs to the top.
Well, see, the thing is, it's not a race against any one of you. Actually, he'll just appear beside you. It's like, oh, in case I haven't been clear, it's not a race against any one of you. It's a race against all of you. There will be 5 stages. 5 challenges to overcome. You can each choose one.
Can't we know what they are beforehand and claim them?
No.
Dang, dude.
Of course not.
It's unfortunate.
I have another question. Do Basil's hat and Basil count as one?
No.
Dang it.
2 names, 2 creatures, 2 stages in the race.
All right.
Oh, we don't have a choice, right? So let's get on.
You have a
with it.
choice.
Oh. Well, no, we don't have a
Fricassee?
choice. We don't want to be eaten.
Broiled.
That's false.
Filleted.
Let's do it.
That's not even a real thing. All right, moving on. Let's do it.
I would like to be sous vide.
Yes.
Sous vide.
Easy enough. I promise you I will sous vide you if you lose. I'm being very generous. Only one of you has to win. And if two of you beat me, well, there might be something extra in it for you. And don't worry, I don't hold grudges.
I will volunteer to go first.
Also, I will be cheating.
Okay, can I cheat too, though?
Of course.
All right, perfect.
As long as you also follow the rules. Anyway. So,
Okay.
come with me, friends. Oh, this is going to be so much fun. I haven't had a race in days.
I can't come with you then,
You do have to, though.
because we're not friends.
I'm not your friend, pal.
That makes me feel very sad and also sort of hungry, so I want to hurry up. He will lead you back a little bit into what is almost like a little bit of a promenade, kind of a wide, or maybe an area where you can do some lawn bowling or something. And he will say, "Stage 1. See that tangle of roots over there? The first person to work their way through the tangle of roots gets a little bit of a head start and advantage. I will be nice and tell you the next thing is climbing up the main trunk itself. And then I think you can guess. It's the lower boughs, then up, and then there's the tippy top. It's not that hard to figure out. But the stages do have to be done in order, so no just flying up the tippy top. Sounds good. All right. So who is first from your team to race me?
I would volunteer to go first.
Okay.
But if we're thinking about the first stage is climbing up the trunk of the tree.
First stage is getting through the tangle of roots to get to the trunk of the tree. The trunk of the tree is full of all sorts of little holes and things like that from where the sprinklers tend to nest. Then you have to climb, obviously, up to the lower boughs and then the mid and then the top.
Okay. Because I was going to say it might be better for Ulrich to work through the flowers because he's got a wrench. And then it might be good for bookworm or someone who is climbing.
3, 2, 1,
sticky abilities,
go!
Cleo.
And he takes off running. Who chases after him?
Nah,
If
not
you
me.
recommended me, I'm going.
All right. So on your bandy little legs, you start going. I would like you to go ahead and give me a check to see how good you are at wriggling your way through this tangle of knotted things.
May I roll with advantage because listening and spotting the best way through.
Yes. You're looking for a 3.
Easy way. Well,
Perfect.
thankfully.
Yes.
That one.
And this is like who is taking the lead. You all have to race, but this is like each person is going to take the lead and the rest of you are just going to follow. So he just takes off running and starts kind of snaking and swinging and jumping and running and having a grand old time, laughing his kind of silvery tinkling laugh. And Ulrich just kind of stands there and examines. And we get a little bit of, it's like a little CSI moment where Ulrich is looking at this twisted tangle of roots. And then all of a sudden we get a look inside Ulrich's mind and they change from being a tangle of roots to being a tangle of pipes. And something about that experience gives you like, aha, this is the way. And in fact, there is a very, very clear way. So
Fills you with determination.
yes, you were able to, he maybe wasn't taking it super seriously. So you were able to keep pace. It is neck and neck. So, who is going to take point on climbing up the wall, the giant trunk, basically?
Nominate Cleo without the pack.
All right, yeah.
Yeah.
Cleo's on it.
Minus 2.5 tons of stuff. That's got to be worth something.
All right.
Does that give her an advantage?
No.
Oh.
But you have things. You all have things.
But also, Cleo has sticky hands, right? So
She
wouldn't
does
Cleo
have
be
sticky
good at
hands.
I do have sticky
climbing?
hands.
And she's strong from carrying stuff.
Yeah.
And there's lots of holes, and I imagine her.
Well,
feet are
that's like what makes it possible. It's
Right.
for
Yeah.
flavor. Yes. So Cleo is very sticky. So go ahead
family
and
string.
start climbing, Cleo. As he is very athletic, and he's not flying or anything, and you know that he can, but he's just like leaping from handhold to handhold and having a good old time, and makes it halfway up. But just as you're starting to put your, he's kind of toying with you, and he hears this conversation, and he goes, "Sticky, yes," and the bark of the tree begins to weep this honey-like substance. It is very, very sticky. I would like you to re-roll that 6. We have boons and stuff. He can't counteract that. But this is him cheating.
Cheater,
I
pumpkin.
would like to use a boon. Preferably a major one.
We have lots.
Okay.
We do.
4.
Something about your disgusting nature. At first, you see Cleo start to climb and then just kind of stick to the tree, and then just like maybe start to slide down as the entire area just where you're trying to climb is covered in this slick of like honey or like sticky amber or something. But something about your unique trash witch chemistry is just like sticky plus sticky makes it so it can't stick to you. I don't know. Are you out sticky it? Who knows? But you're somehow able to overcome it. And much to his surprise, as he just kind of enjoys watching you struggle, and then is kind of amazed that you're able to make it up. So yeah, you're still keeping pace. Very, very well done. You do have a number of sprinklers stuck to you though right now, who are squawking rather pitifully as they're just like embedded in various different pieces of yourself, spraying fresh water everywhere. Yeah. It's basically you're stuck to a shower. There's no getting away from it. Yeah.
This is the worst experience of my life.
You're being spray washed.
No, I'm melting.
Yeah,
Cleaner
sorry.
she gets, like the more attractive she is. We're like,
Yeah.
Right.
How is this?
There's one of them sprays right in your face, and there's like a slow-mo as you throw your hair back. Beautiful.
why?
I know, right? All right. Well, that is quite good. Quite good. He is maybe going to take it a bit more seriously. All right. So the next challenge is the lower branches, which are very, very dense. There's very, very low visibility.
I can't see normally.
Ah, that's true. It's like I'm already blind. So he just once you get up near him, he just kind of reaches up and pulls himself into this dense, and you can hear the shaking. What does Basil do?
I think back to when I was a young squire, and they made us do basic military training, so that one day we would become knights of the kingdom. And it was kind of like this, except not at all. So from the dim memory of
Question:
that,
Can I
and my
aid by?
inability to see.
Can I aid by yelling things at Basil?
Can you aim or aid?
Aid.
Not really.
No. Okay. Am I still on Basil's head?
I think you have to You have to fly off. I mean, you're going to follow behind, basically. I mean, this is a matter of the team racing, but for each stage, one of you needs to be the one that actually makes a check.
Right.
Yep.
So you're just going to try to, and you have things that you can use.
mean, I have the like extendy thingy.
Well, technically, your hat does.
I don't think I.
Oh,
Let me look at my.
You have the trumpet. That is for sure.
you're
I
not.
have the trumpet, but I don't know how that would help the situation.
Me either.
I think I'm just gonna go for it.
Okay. It's going to be a 3. The sparrow prince, as you're pulling yourself up and you're mostly feeling your way, you catch a glimpse of or feel a bit of motion near you, and the sparrow prince's head pops out from between some leaves and looks at you and says, "You seem to have a bit of an inflated ego, my friend. Hope it doesn't get in your way." And then you kind of start to feel yourself blowing up a little bit. Like, it's not uncomfortable, but you kind of start to feel yourself inflating like a balloon, which is making it a little bit hard to navigate the branches and boughs.
Oh, I pull out the trumpet and blow out the extra air while climbing.
Yes. Absolutely, no doubt. 100%, because you're literally being filled up with hot air, because you're kind of full of hot air. And so you choose to use that to your advantage. So yes, you may roll with advantage.
Good. Okay.
Longest trumpet ever held.
With advantage, that's a 6.
So not only does that get you unstuck, but something about the kind of partially deflated state, you're a little bit wibbly wobbly. You're a little bit like the inflated car sales guy for a minute. And you just kind of trilling the trumpet behind you, just kind of up through the branches and then kind of flop down on the kind of almost like a platform where the thickest, densest lower branches lie. He is still a bit ahead of you, but that very much surprises him. He was kind of waiting to taunt you, but then sees you appear and then just like, oh, and then just starts climbing very, very rapidly. Still refusing to fly, but definitely has a look like, oh, I've underestimated these people. Very, very well done. Now, the middle branches are much easier to climb. In fact, it looks almost like they grew to make climbing easy. They also appear to be home to some distressing number of squirrels.
I got this.
There are squirrel nests everywhere.
I can do this.
And he is just leaping and running and jumping. All the squirrels are kind of watching. A few of them applaud as he runs by. And then they all kind of look down at you guys and start kind of rubbing their little hands together and chittering.
I can do this. I was made.
Molded.
Yes. All right. So you begin to very, very slowly inch your way up.
You're oddly confident.
Yes.
We've got a flag.
I take my flag out and I wave it furiously.
Yep. Roll with advantage, because what happens is they immediately began to throw acorns at you. They kind of jump on whatever branch you're on and shake it, trying to dislodge you. But you may roll with advantage because you can make yourself invisible to the ones nearest you.
I got a 5.
It takes you a while because you're very slow.
Very slow.
But the squirrels eventually they kind of give up and just start throwing acorns at other people, and then get bored and crawl back into their nests and go to sleep, because this is no fun for them. So
squirrels. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. They you eventually they kind of with their brains get a little frazzled and they say whatever, we're just gonna curl and go to sleep. So the rest of you are able to follow also relatively slowly but carefully so as to not to wake the tens of thousands of squirrels that nest here. And you find him at the top, just kind of lounging. Like maybe he was taking a little bit of a nap because he figured these guys are going to be hours or they're going to be eaten by squirrels. It's fine. But then as soon as he sees your little head pop up, he jumps with a start and, oh my, and then takes off. Now it is a full-on race to the upper branches. The wind is picking up. The upper branches are, maybe it's because it's new growth, but they're very floppy and flabby and saggy and rubbery. They tend to just kind of like sag and wave and kind of... It's not a very structured experience. So it sounds like it's all up to the hat.
Okay,
Go
so I'm
ahead.
gonna be kind of like grabbing branches with my beak and flapping and just like, like working my way up these sad, soggy branches with
Flap
my
hopping.
beak and my flaps.
Yep. Which is just a straight roll. Is there anything you would like to do to make yourself a little bit better?
No, because there's probably nothing solid for me to put like the stick on.
There's
or
lower
anything.
branches.
Yeah.
I mean, if Basil's performance is any indicator, it can be very creative.
Okay, so here's the thing, right? So we get through that part, and we're getting through that part, and I'm like, Basil, grab the stick. And I throw the stick to Basil. Well, I just hand it to him because I'm like right by him.
Yeah.
And I give him the stick, and then I grab onto the tip of it, and I'm like, extendo.
It's
I
perfectly
extend the
fine.
stick.
It is 100% cheating, but cheating is okay.
Okay.
He,
Extendo.
for whatever reason, wherever he steps, the branches are perfectly firm.
Uh-huh.
Well, he's cheating too then.
Of course, he's been cheating all along.
No.
Yes. I mean, he told you at the outset he was going to cheat. And that you can cheat too as long as you follow the rules. So go ahead and make that roll with advantage.
All right. That's what I'm talking about. I got a 5 and a 3, so 5.
5 is sufficient. You do. The kind of floppy, rubbery limbs try to like wrap themselves around you and grab a hold of you, but you're just being rocketed up by this magical extending chopstick or whatever it is. And then you pop out the very top, the tippy top of the tree, and then just kind of perch on it as if you're on Basil's head. And then literally like 5 seconds later, he pops out and he's huffing and puffing. He like tried that last round and you still beat him.
Yeah.
And then he looks
You're the goat.
he looks up at you. He looks down to the rest of you who are slowly trying to climb the pole. And then he just roars with laughter and claps and does a little jig on one of these branches and then just kind of dives off backward and falls and falls and falls until he kind of poof into a puff of feathers that then swirl down and then boom, he's standing on the ground. Well, come on down.
Oh, geez, bud.
So,
Fish.
good.
Oh no, that was it.
The good news is the squirrels don't harass you on the way down.
Uh-oh.
You can avoid the sticky spot. The boughs open, the thick boughs of the lower branches open up for you. So it's not dangerous and does not require a roll to get back down to the bottom. You say, I knew when I saw you that it would be an invigorating race. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Is there like a mud spot I can roll around in? And can someone get these things off of me?
I mean, you're still sticky and you're now covered in leaves and acorns and bark, squirrel fur.
Just, I need the sprinklers off.
Oh, yeah. He'll just like pluck them off, shake them, and then throw them up into the air, and they will fly. But yeah, you're suitably filthy.
Thank goodness.
Wow.
Thank goodness.
Well, that was a wonderful time, don't you think? Would you like to go for another try?
No.
No,
No.
no,
No, I think we're
No.
good.
not on your
Beat
life.
the mini game, we're out.
Oh, well. The Sparrow Prince's domain is always open to you should you come back and try. You're like, we don't actually eat people, by the way.
Oh, okay.
Oh, good.
Well, I'm not a people. So.
It's just a little motivation. I've always found that people run faster when they think they're about to be made a meal of. No.
Wow, that's really
That's
been
too much.
But this is great fun.
I was going to say, I think I'd cause indigestion.
When it comes to pheasants. Yeah.
So where is it that you're traveling to, my friends?
The Goblin King's castle.
Why
We
on
gotta
earth would you
give
want to
him
go there?
presents. He said it's
Presents?
his birthday.
Oh, his birthday. Oh, well, you'd better hurry.
Yes.
And that's going to, the celebration is going to start any moment.
Oh no.
Yeah.
We're gonna
You
be
tell us
late.
how to- We got there.
You've been dilly-dallying for far too long. We'll go, chop, chop.
Is there a shortcut?
Oh, yes, and I promised you, well, you didn't technically, multiple of you didn't beat me, only one of you did, but it was such a wonderful time. I will grant you a boon.
A boon?
Yes. He will, like, fling his hands out, and just a whirl of feathers will circle around all of you, except for Basil's hat, because Basil's hat is a bird.
Yeah.
And they form very tenuous wings on your backs.
Oh,
The magic won't last long, and it tends not to function very well outside of my maze. But for now, have a good time and come back and visit me any day or night.
Yeah. No, it's all right. Thanks. Appreciate it.
And he will just kind of wave
Hey, bye.
as
Bye.
as the
Goodbye.
sun goes down and the sprinklers begin flying out of their nests in the trees, misting the landscape, making it all glistening and dewy. As the moon rises, you glide over this very, very large hedge maze until eventually you reach one of the lower walls of the citadel in the center. And for the first time, you see other people. There's a very long line of individuals, most of whom look terrified. And as you exit the Sparrow Prince's realm, the feathers your wings just dissolve into black feathers. And you find your feet, and then I assume join the line.
Well, getting into the Citadel, you repair stuff. Is there a maintenance hatch or someplace we can bypass this? Like a
You can
Disney
try to cut the
Express
line. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Why don't you go ahead and make a look for that?
Come on.
2.
Ooh, 5.
Oh yeah.
Over here.
Easy enough. And I will say you don't even have to look. You know where there is one. So it's a drain pipe, and that for you, Cleo, that's fantastic because it's going to be kind of gross. But yes, you lead the party through a drain pipe and can skip a couple of tiers of the Citadel, frankly. You come out into like very, very near the palace itself. And probably have to dislodge a family of goblins who are watching this parade. And they're maybe a little bit miffed that you've made them move from a prime people watching spot, but you're able to lead your party and then kind of sneak in to the line. You get a few get a few kind of looks.
Well, I just announced that we've got the marshmallow of Earl here, and he needs to get through.
Fourth oil of
The
marshmallow.
fourth Earl of Marshmallow.
Fourth oil of marshmallow.
Yeah, what Worm said.
Yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But there are winged creatures and fanged creatures and people with two heads and a variety. And this is representatives from all around the Goblin King's domain. Very, very, very large creatures made of rock. You think you might even see a rather smallish dragon or two. Not the kind that live out in the wastes and eat you. But it's a big crush. And you are glad that you skipped the line because it is moving very, very slowly. It is really throughout the entire night of constantly having to wake Basil up and get him to shuffle a few steps forward every time the line moves. As dawn is approaching, you can hear the incessant music of the Goblin King's Goblin Choir singing discordantly. Rude music. Rude and silly.
That's good. I like it.
And you can hear the occasional pleading voices and screams of fear as someone's gift doesn't necessarily suit the Goblin King's fancy.
Oh no.
Yes.
Sounds awful. This is a terrible experience.
He's not a fun guy. I mean, he's a fun guy. He's not a nice guy.
Yeah, we call this Tuesday here. Okay, so just everybody
Yes.
yeah.
But eventually, after many more hours, you are concerned because you know that the birthday feast is going to begin in the afternoon of this day. And the last quarter mile to the palace and throne room itself, it feels like it takes forever. And you can all tell it's like time is getting close. And the people behind you begin to become even more panicked. Some of them just run because they realize that they're not going to make it. So they go run to spend their last moments with their family or to go hide or something. Others try to push their way even further forward, but are held in check by Goblin Guard. So it's a pretty chaotic last couple of hours, but eventually, just as the sun is starting to become very colorful in the sky, and you can even see Goblin servants bringing in extra tables and carrying large platters of all sorts of delicious and slightly disturbing meals. You are the last to be granted entrance and audience with the Goblin King, who is, of course, impossibly elegant and pants impossibly tight. I'm sure rotating glass spheres in his hand, playing with them back and forth, as one would expect. I mean, it's kind of an old, it's a little played out, his shtick. I mean, once you've seen it, but he does have an aura of power and charisma. And he does tend to surround himself with the most hideous and repugnant of his goblin servitors. So he looks even more elegant and refined in contrast. And then he looks at you expectantly. Yes, subjects, what have you brought me? I warn you, it has been a long day, and I have seen many wonders from every part of my kingdom and beyond. I am not apt to be impressed with common things.
Well, then you need not worry, because common is something that no one's ever called us.
We've been called many things, and
I did not give you leave to speak, dwarf, but it is my birthday and I'm feeling kind. Step forward and present your gift for judgment.
Excellent. Basil.
I turn to Cleo and I say...
He just looks confused. Your hand appears empty.
And then I play the trumpet to make the birds fly around nicely.
He will just, you'll have your turn. He's solely focused on Ulrich.
Okay.
I'm gonna look left. I'm gonna look right. Be like, all right.
An empty hand is very common in my kingdom, Ulrich, as you very well know.
Well, I got this. Hold on. I got your worshipful, magisterial whatnot. Hold on, just a sec here. Here, wait. You're. I think you're gonna like this. So get out the periscope. Go. All right. Now, this here, right here, this tube. You'd think just water was gonna flow through, but it doesn't. It bends the very fabric of existence, and light does a thing through it in a way that makes it do things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, things. We've had lots of stuff come out of this, and I'll bet you your worshipful powerness, so you'll be able to make it do things we can't even make it do. Look at it, it's shiny, it's great. Here you go.
A pipe that bends the very fabric of space and time.
Yeah, yeah, it's interesting.
Like this. And then all the walls just kind of shiver and shimmer, and it's a scene from Inception where the room kind of folds in on itself, and like the floor becomes the wall becomes the ceiling, and you get that Escher-esque effect.
He does this every year.
He does this every year.
What use have I for an object that can do what I can do at my whim?
Well, your worshipful lordness, you got to understand, it's a thing then that's like you, and if it's like yourself, then it's got to be wonderful.
That's true. And he literally just goes,
Smile.
that's a good point. But again, what use is it? What use of it is it to me? I, however,
Visibly sweating.
I smell dreams on you, Ulrich. Have you been dreaming? Have you been dreaming of freedom? No. Doesn't smell like freedom. It smells like utility. What's that? What's that at your waist? Or across your back? Yes, wherever it is. Chester is what he's pointing at.
You mean the wrench?
Yes, give it to me.
The wrench of my ancestors. I pull it out. I'm like,
He snatches it. A tool touched by dreams.
there was a
Fascinating.
micrometer in there at one point.
Yes. This
Good one.
is unique. It's interesting. Your gift does not displease me. Next. And he sets it in a pile.
I will hop forward. Me.
And he just goes, next. Don't be afraid. Step up. Step up.
Coming.
Oh, then he looks down. Oh, yes. Worm. What have you brought me?
I have
Quickly.
brought you
Time goes short.
a flag.
Where'd he go?
Here I am.
No, but seriously, there was a worm right here just a moment ago.
Stop waving.
Well, see, there he is again.
Flag.
I don't have time for this game. Anyway, so who's next with an actual present?
That works too.
Yeah, you're just like, he's gone. Whatever. Literally, it's out of sight, out of mind.
Perfect. I don't exist. I just go hop back onto like Cleo's shoe or
Right.
Better
Basil's
anyway, 'cause
rib
then
or
you can
something.
keep your flag.
Exactly.
I step forward and I say very ponderously, music tames all the beasts. And then I play.
I like my beasts savage and hungry. Why should I want to tame them? They do my bidding. If they're tame, they are a less threat to those who would challenge me. Who are you, by the way? You look familiar.
I'm the 4th Earl of Marshmallow.
Yes, I banished your house and turned many of them into toads. Looks like I missed one. Anyway, Earl, what have you brought for me?
This trumpet. And I pull out the trumpet and I play smooth jazz.
All of the goblins shriek in her. Oh, it's the worst music we've ever heard. Oh, how can you stand it, my lord? And he's just like, oh, I mean, it does kind of have a bop, but I'm surrounded by music all day long. What makes you think that more music would amuse me? Think, man.
Because it can do this. I let the birds out of Cleo's thing, and I make the birds fly around in like a orderly fashion than a disorderly fashion.
Ah, now that is interesting. Yes. You have traveled far in your search of something worthy of my pleasure. I will take the birds.
Okay. And put the trumpet back in my pocket.
And he will just like hold up a hand and they will all land on him. And then he will just perch them on himself like brooches. And then they immediately become brooches. They become fully stylized, like parts of his attire. Interesting, yes.
All right, birds.
Wonderful. Your gift does not displease. Next.
I look up at my hat.
Hello.
Ah.
I am a hat.
Yes.
But also, I brought you a present. It is like an extra present because I'm just a hat. But I brought a present. So automatically, it's pretty exciting. Right? So here's the thing. And it's a stick. Looks like an ordinary stick. Maybe made of metal. We don't know. You know, maybe it's a drumstick. Nobody knows. Or do they? They do. Because watch this. I just make it like fly into the sky.
Now, how much would you pay? Yeah.
This bad boy has gotten me out of many a trouble, and it helped me to defeat the Sparrow King at his own game. Ha-ha! And I retract it, and I'm like, ooh.
You beat the Sparrow King in a race, I assume.
Indeed.
Interesting.
Very
Yes.
good stick.
Yes. You will be my hat tonight.
Sounds fantastic.
Yes.
How does that even
Well,
work?
come along.
All right. Basil.
Even my hat has bested the Sparrow King, who is the leader of the land now. Me, of course. I mean, it was never in question, but I do love to rub it into my rivals' faces. So yes, I shall wear you as my hat tonight, and then you'll go away.
It's an honor and a pleasure. Thank you, sir.
Don't talk. Very well. Witch.
Yes. I brought.
If it's a
She's
doll, if it's another doll missing an eye, I have to tell you, I have an oubliette full of your sisters.
No. Those are too personal. I would never part with them. But these. She opens the bag of marbles. She's like kind of like tearing up as she's taking them out. She's like, they're beautiful, and if you hold them up to the light, they sparkle even more. And there's many of them.
This is a big deal for her, okay?
Those are just
There's no one.
those are just memories of the lost. Why on earth would I want that? I banish those people. I don't care about what happened to them and their hopes and their dreams and their failures.
Yes, but now you have a permanent physical reminder of how much you can lord over them and
I mean, they're all
remind people.
dead now, and I'm here, literally lording over them.
Crash.
Well,
Get the oubliette ready.
My lord, if
You're going to
if
have
you
to get one
would-
of the poles to just tamp it down. I know there's a pile of them in there. Just tamp it down and make room for one more.
my
It's a
lord,
big pole.
If you would just indulge an old man.
No. I'll give you one more try, witch, or it's into the oubliette with you.
Nice knowing you. Good luck.
I will reach into the most special portion of my garbage backpack
Cleo,
and I will
no.
remove my prize.
Not the predator.
My prized copy, the limited edition of the unicorn's misfortunate tale that is still in perfect condition, gold plated, basically untouched by any of my ilk. Be like, would this please you, sire?
First edition.
And he will look at it and go, well, it's better. But unicorns, and if I want them to have an unfortunate tale, I'll make them one. It earned you another try.
You can come to our book club.
He looks at it, oh, never mind. It's been a long day.
You can go on a date with Hot Cleo.
One whole day with
You can know.
I mean,
Shook off all the muck and grime.
so I think for canon, you take off all the muck and grime, and then suddenly it's like mid-90s and Angelina Jolie only buff. And he just looks astounded. And then we look at his guy and say, are they all like that? Underneath all the...
Don't forget to flex.
Oh yeah, she's totally
Good
like
looks.
power posing. Like, yes, come to our book club.
Book
We have
club.
tea. We have tea.
Yes. You will sit at my right hand tonight.
Yes, my kingship.
And your beauty will reflect upon me, but not for too long. I don't like the competition.
Of course not, sire. I will go back to being icky and disgusting as soon as you command.
Perfect. Well, your gift does not displease.
Nice.
Torture all the rest. And then he will... The banquet tables are brought in. The band begins to play. You are allowed to sit. I mean, some of you are allowed to sit very, very close. Some of you have to kind of go sit at a kid's table. But Cleo and Basil's hat have a front row seat to, juggling routines and music, and it's all very insane and cacophonous. And he just kind of goes through all the wondrous things that people have brought him, and many of them are like truly, truly amazing magical things. The sense, however, that you get is that none of it touches him. Like, he's got the hat on, but it's just there as a symbol of something that bested the Sparrow Prince. You're there to be beautiful, but he hardly pays attention to you. He is surrounded by things and people who adore him or fear him or both. And he seems sort of terribly lonely at the same time. But after many, many hours of revelry, and he does have a very kind of boisterous mask on, but those two of you who are close enough to him realize that his existence is somewhat empty. And you are the very beginning of the morning as goblins are being rolled out. They're being like swept out with brooms because they've drank and eaten too much. And goblins can eat a lot. They can blow up like like beach balls basically and continue eating until they eventually pass out. So as the morning crew is cleaning out, you are all dismissed. You make your way through the Goblin Village to the gates that will lead you to the various different paths to the places that you call home within the stone walls. And as you exit, you see a goblin nailing up a proclamation.
Oh.
No.
It's fantastic news. The goblin seems quite excited.
That's even
To all the residents of the stone walls, due to the wondrous nature of the Goblin King's birthday celebration last night, he has declared that tomorrow is his birthday.
Yeah.
And that's where we'll end.
This is never ending. I hate living here.
You guys made it too fun for him, and now he wants to have a birthday every other day.
Blew it. We did
Yeah,
too
he
well.
kind of screwed it up for everyone.
Too
I
bad.
can only once.
But you got to keep some cool new stuff. You lost your wrench.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
This is just adorable.
You can always go back to the Eater of Dreams and get a new one.
It's all right. Cleo and I are losing our integrity. It's fine. We all lost something important today.
Yes. But you lost some, you gained some. It's all about the friends you made along the way.
Right.
Cool. So that is a rough interpretation or adaptation of the Jim Henson's Labyrinth adventure game. A couple of the scenes were inspired by some of the scenes that are actually in the book. Some were not. The resolution mechanic, as you can tell, is super duper simple. I do encourage you to go out and check out the book. It's I think widely available on Amazon. I like it because we can play it as adults and have a good time, but it's also something for folks with kids that you can introduce them into kind of a role-playing game that doesn't have complex stats. It's very accessible and is the type of setting that is designed for kids to enjoy. And it's a way of honoring Jim Henson, who did a lot of stuff for a lot of us as we were growing up, sparked imagination across generations. So this, I think this was a fun one. So definitely recommend it to others out there. Why don't we do the thing that we do and talk a little bit about who you guys are and where people can find you. So we'll start with Meg first this time.
Okay. I'm Megan Amell. You can find me on Twitch at Megan Amell, and I stream Tuesdays, Thursdays at 5:30 p.m. Central, and I stream on Saturdays at like noon. I'm a teacher. Anytime I have a break, I stream almost every day, and I do a lot of daytime streams. So, throw me a follow, and you're bound to catch me. If not tomorrow, then Thursday. So, yeah.
Beautiful. Yo, Hel.
Hi, I'm Hell Hath Some Fury. I stream Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays, and sometimes on the weekend. I play a lot of very difficult games. Right now I'm embroiled in a playthrough of the Dark Souls series. And I'm in Dark Souls 2 right now. And we basically like to learn stuff. We like to hang out. We like to learn fun facts. We like to debate the correct plural of octopus. It's a whole thing. Come hang out. It'll be fun.
Octopodes.
Michael, no.
He's actually right, though.
Oh, good.
It's imported into English, so you can use octopuses if you want.
But that's also true.
I mean, it's actually,
He's the only one that's wrong.
yeah. Put a pin in the introductions. Let's discuss this.
Yeah. Sword evolving.
Awesome. Gognar.
Can't find me anywhere. I'm old. I usually game in person, and so I appreciate you stopping by.
Awesome.
Hello, everyone.
Hold on. Wait, no. And it's your first time with us, right?
It is, sir. It is.
It's your first time with us, and it's your first time streaming. being a player, right?
No,
So
I've pretty much just around a wooden table in the gaming dungeon for the last 30 years. So yeah.
yep.
How was it?
The gaming dungeon.
Yep. You took
Virtual background. It's actually our zone down here. It's just
I know. I
Yep.
was like,
So jealous.
when you went and put the log in the fire, I was like, that moment when you realize that Grognard does not just have a really nice green screen setup.
right.
Yeah. Yeah.
chilly this
And
time.
they were like, it's real. I was like, it's real.
right. Well, you took to it like a frog heemeth to water, so good on you.
Mhm.
Yomoro.
Okay. Hello, I'm Morwen in my sales. I play lots of old games, and I usually do it on Tuesdays because I have a full-time job and then I get sleepy. So if you want to catch me, usually Tuesday evenings, this is my stream for tonight. Hi, chat. Tough.
Hi, I'm 98 Tough Lover, Tough Dwarf, Orpington, some variety of nickname. You can probably find somebody calling me that. I am a variety streamer on Twitch. This week I have the week off, so I've been playing a lot of Undertale, and then I'll be playing Deltarune and then Deltarune 2, so hopefully playing through all of those. And I also play a lot of games here, so I will be back here again on Thursday for Avatar, and then again on Sunday for Masks.
Yeah.
So lots of good times in the future.
Yes. We're getting back into the groove after holidays and COVID stuff that happened. Yeah, I am Zero or Zero Daylight or Michael or DM or GM or Keeper or the Goblin King, at least tonight. I run games like this and occasionally get to play them when other people step up and run. And you can catch me mostly here, which, by the way, Meg, and also thanks, Cat Dad, you can check us out at cpluscontent.tv. Or you can catch us live here at watch.c+. It's either watch or live. I think it's live.cpluscontent.tv. Or you can check out our Twitter at twitter.cpluscontent.tv. We're getting all fancy with Cat Dad's help.
Yes, it's the best. I told you.
Makes it simple. But seriously, if you haven't followed, you probably should, as a way of like finding us again, because there's a lot of channels on Twitch. You don't want to lose this one. Even if you don't like me, you love these people and they hang out here. And definitely head over to our YouTube channel and click the subscribe. It is completely free as well. Click the little alert button next to it so you can be notified when there is new content. All of the content we put up here shows up over there about 24 hours later. So it's a great way of getting caught up on the stuff that we do and staying in touch with the things that we're going to be putting out in the near future. You can always also check out our Twitter, where it's mostly just notifications of changes in schedule and what's upcoming. You could always follow me on Twitter at that Zero Daylight. I don't really need the followers, so you don't have to. But if you have thoughts or questions or want to just like chat nerdy DM stuff, particularly when it pertains to less common, unusual rule sets, which I find fascinating, the more narrative rule sets, I find really interesting and do a lot of that. So if you're interested in engaging on that level, absolutely feel free to shoot me a tweet or something. And we will be back here I will be over at the Duckwork channel actually playing D&D tomorrow night at 7:30 p.m. Central. Thursday is the second of 3 of our Avatar RPG. There might be something Saturday or there might not. Sunday is Masks. And then we have a whole slew. There's apparently going to be a game that's based on Power Rangers that I was not remotely involved in, but I'll be playing in it. So I'll get to learn what Power Rangers are because I didn't watch commercial TV as a kid. We've got Alien. We've got the Princess Bride one shot that we need to put on the schedule. We've got a lot of stuff coming up. So stick with us. And as always, jump in our Discord if you have ideas or questions or want to vote on what comes up next. And if you love playing and you have a good sound setup and a decent camera and you like to spend a few hours with some fun people playing games like this and you're nice and not crazy, then you could even sign up for something and maybe play here sometime. So yeah, wide open. Anyway, that is my very, very lengthy spiel. Thanks everyone for coming and joining. Thanks for the raid. Thanks for all of we used a lot of boons and banes, but we didn't work our way through all of them. So thanks so much for spending those mana potions and helping out the crew. As usual, chat actually is the one who wins. We should probably go find someone to raid. Let me see. Q Times is a channel that I really like. They are kind of a collective. That is where you can find, that is a channel where you can find, or could find while it was still running, Blood of the Void, and the second Star Trek series that Eric Campbell and his crew did, which is just amazing. So definitely go. They started on Geek and Sundry back when that was a thing. So I'm not familiar with all of their creators, but right now Q Times is hosting Blackness and Dragons, and I am familiar with them. They're hilarious and awesome. I assume they are playing D&D. So why don't we go raid over there? Yeah, drop in the perfect. Thank you. Drop in the raid call. The one with all the pretty pictures is for subscribers. The one with the emoji is for everyone else. Go ahead and copy that out, and I will remember how to raid. That is not even remotely. I typed $REAI.
No, you did your best. You did your best.
Because I wasn't looking.
You're on the wrong home row.
So we're going to go hang out with Q Times and Blackness and Dragons. Hopefully they've only been up for about an hour, so they should be going for a while. So enjoy them. Show them some love. Let me spell Q correctly. Yes, Queue. Let's see if this works. It's been a long day, man. Okay, it looks like I got it right.
Yeah,
cool.
You're doing great.
Again, thanks everyone for hanging out. We'll see you again soon. Thanks, Grognard, for joining us, even through all the rescheduled stuff. I hope you will come back and play Alien with us because you know that system. Think about it. No pressure. Just saying. Anyway, awesome. And thanks everyone for playing and enjoying, and we'll talk to you again soon.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, friends.